Last episode, we didn't have a disagreement. We exposed two completely different ways to build a DJ business, and only one of them scales.
It's a no-go. You know
what pisses me off? You're there with them an hour,
yeah,
and then you're like, oh, it went well, and they don't book you. You're like, what the hell? What did I do? What could I have done differently? Like,
you talk too much.
Looking at my website, I haven't done anything to it because people, for some reason, do not go to a website around here.
Do you give them a reason to go there, though? Your website, if you have a website that's busy and everything funnels to that website, even when they send you leads and stuff, they'll show you when they search for a DJ near me, you're up there on the rankings. So that's how you can get up there.
If it's not broken, you don't fix it. You know.
Yeah, but my thing is, if you always do what you always done, you're always going to get what you always gotten. So,
well,
this isn't just a debate. This is how DJs either grow or stay stuck. Come join us on the next episode of the CUEITUP DJ podcast with me, the hitmanddub, and DJ Mikiemike. This is a podcast for DJs of all skill levels to come to connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But DJing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikiemike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the hitmanddub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. I forgot I do that every week. Let me make sure I turn this down so I don't echo. What's up, everyone? And welcome to another episode of the CUEITUP DJ podcast with me, the hitmanddub, and my two friends, DJ Mikiemike and DJ Will.
Thirsty Thursday.
Yep. But you gotta make sure after you took what you took that you don't have to always leave the screen.
Oh, I know. I know. It's a rock star. It ain't a beer or anything. It's a non-alcoholic beverage.
So don't tell me it's going to be one of those energy drinks where you're going to be doing a lot of talking tonight.
It's an energy drink, but I think I just exercised too much all day today, going back and forth to the restroom.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I had to build my vitamins back up.
Mm-hmm. And so our podcast is a place for DJs of all skill levels to come, connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, We are here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So last week, it was supposed to be about grand entrances, but it took a left turn, and we got into some heated discussions. So that we're gonna finish discussing tonight. But there were some key takeaways. So the first one was the grand entrance at a wedding is the pivotal moment that sets the tone for the reception. Number 2, DJ consultations with couples require strategic communication. And 3, local demographics significantly influence market strategies. So that leads us into tonight's topic, DJ versus DJ, a heated business debate. So you're going to hear from someone from a smaller market, someone from a bigger market, and then someone that's a multi-op. So you're going to hear from 3 different points of views. So again, this is for all DJs. There's no right or wrong answer. What I try to do with our podcast is try to look at all the different options and give you different options to look at, because there's no right or wrong answer. And I just want to make sure whatever information that we give out, first of all, is factual. I don't want to be one of those shows where we're talking and then we're just talking out the side of our neck, giving out bad advice. Then also, because I watched the show several times, and since I pride myself on trying to be helpful and informative, if there's something I feel that wasn't quite said right or we didn't finish it, I want to make sure we go back and finish it and make sure we don't have anybody watching the show get the wrong ideas and, misinformation. But I do want to say, apologize for DJ Will, because it's like that video when I was piecing together the sound bites, it didn't seem like it was harsh, but when I put it there, I was like, man, that was cold blooded just to cut you off like that. So
that's okay. It's the more viewers we see, the better.
Yep.
Yes.
Drama.
Yep. But it's like what I tell everybody in my family that like all that Facebook drama. It's like the last name is Dixon. It's not Kardashian. I don't get paid for all the drama. Let them do that
it's
stuff.
Okay, I see Maury. Every day.
Even though that used to be my show, rushing home to see him, Ricky Lake, and Jerry Springer.
I listened to our one local DJ here. He's on WKRZ, and he's a wedding DJ also. But his one buddy is a DJ up in the Boston area, and he was telling the story that the girl's maiden name is her maiden name is Slick, Slick. Her husband's last name is Dick, Dick. So she kept her maiden name hyphen her marriage name. So everybody has to call her Miss or Mrs. Slick Dick. I mean, it went over so big on KRC. People are laughing. People are calling. It was unbelievable. This is just the other day. Jeff is a heck of a guy. Well, I don't know if you know him or you ever run into him. He is so down to earth. It's unbelievable. Jeff Walker. Mm-hmm. But when he said that, I'm like, oh, I could see where the story's going now. I'm like, oh boy.
Okay.
But last week's show was great. There was one thing I left out, like with my consultations. Mm-hmm. I meet with the couple, and I
before we get into that, let's set the stage first, because you got to remember, I'm a teacher, so it's always we got to set the stage before we get into the discussion, because I think that's where we kind of like got off track last week. We kept that going to the left. Because we started talking about one thing, and then when you answered, and then you start talking about other things, and that was something that we were going to lead up to and talk to it at the end.
Yeah.
But because you said this, that, and the other, then it led to something else, and then we got further and further away from what we were talking about. So let's talk about our markets. How do you see the markets where you at, and then how does that affect our gigs? So let's start with the different markets first, and then go into the mindset, and then how we actually maneuver through our markets. So that therefore you can talk about your consultation then. So how would you describe your market?
Well, this week I sat down and I just went on Facebook, and I just typed in DJs Northeastern PA, and a bunch of DJs popped up, and it had their website. So I clicked on it, and what it did, it took me to their another Facebook page that was like, say, DJ Joe, DJ Jessica, DJ Mike, djmikiemike. It had www.djmikiemike, but when you clicked on it, it just took you to a different Facebook page. And there was some that did have some websites. Some were very plain. This is so-and-so. Here's a little biography of myself. And I do weddings, graduation parties, and birthday parties. I mean, and then some were very, very well done. But honestly, I want to say at least 83% of them, it looked like you were going to a website, but when you clicked on it, it just took you to another Facebook page. For some reason, like northeastern Pennsylvania, we were known as the coal region, poor section of Pennsylvania. And I mean, there are a lot of rich people that live here, but it was like basically the poorest section of Pennsylvania. So I think everybody's still in that mindset that we're not, can't say not educated. Like we're 3 steps behind with like the internet. I mean, the internet's got great speed and everything, but for building a business and putting it on the internet, it seems like it just doesn't connect with the people, this atmosphere that's around here. I mean, we have a lot of young people too that live in the area, but we have the majority of our elderly people. Even the young people that I DJ for, I asked them, where did they find me? Well, I found you on Facebook. Or, they were referred to me by a friend. We found you on Google. I did a wedding for a couple that was from Allentown. That's well out of my market. I mean, she's talking Allentown, that's a big market. Then that goes over to New Jersey and also Philadelphia. And she said, Mike, for what you gave us, your price compared to the other DJs, they were giving us the same thing. And they were at least 3 times higher than what I charged. And I can't say I cut them a break, but I only charged $3,500 for the wedding. And I was 3 times cheaper than DJs in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Allentown area. So, and she was more than pleased with me. She couldn't thank me enough. And I did book 2 more weddings from that wedding, but they were closer to my area. So thank God for that. I'd have to travel all the way down to Allentown. One thing about Allentown, it's a great, great city. Billy Joel did a song on it. The bad thing, if you ever DJ down there, if you're a DJ from this area and go down to Allentown, there is no parking. You have to go park in a parkade. That's it. But for some reason, Facebook is so popular around here. The kids, I'm going to say kids, anywhere from 15 to 30 years of age, they're using Instagram. But when they want to search for somebody or something, they're going to Facebook. It's just like, it's an icon. That's what you want to go to see what DJs or see what bands are out there, or see if a band is playing at a certain location, see if a DJ is playing at a certain location. Everybody goes to Facebook. I don't know why, but that's how it is here in this area.
Because that reminds me of when I went to school. Because I went to school at West Virginia University, so in Morgantown. So that's
Yeah.
basically a college town. Not only is it a college town, but it's up in the mountains, and we had a lot of coal mining like areas
Yes.
there, and that compared to Cleveland was like night and day. So it's
Yeah.
less busy, especially when school was not in session or the football team was out of town. The
Hmm.
weekend was very dead. I don't want to say they're poor, uh, but they
Middle
didn't
class.
strike me as the the real flashy kind of group, except for the professors that stayed
Yeah.
within, that city, Morgantown.
They were. It sounds like they were maybe a lower to upper middle class,
Mhm.
basically, from what
Yeah,
you described.
yeah. And then either they had small houses and it was like real old, dusty, like, or they had the big, beautiful lawns and the nice size houses. So
Yes.
it was like where we were, there wasn't like too many like in betweens. It was either that or the vast
Yeah.
difference. So
Yeah.
that's what your market remind me of. In Cleveland, Cleveland's a little bit of everything because it's so big, and then you have so many suburbs inside of Cleveland. And so by it being so big, everyone is saying, yeah, you can charge more and get away with charging more, but at the same time, the market is so saturated. So you have to definitely make sure you know your clientele or who you want to DJ for and try to get your foot into the door.
Hmm.
Sometimes you might just have to just wave the white flag and join a multi-op if you can get a hold of a multi-op that is already doing something, or a club or a venue that have an opening. You might have to eat humble pie and not
Hmm.
be the DJ per se, but work your way
Yes.
in doing other things to get to that DJ spot to try to get your foot into the door. But it's
Yeah.
basically a lot of um, I I don't want to say cliquish, but it's definitely not what you know, is who you know that can get your foot into the door. So
Yeah.
when I look
Yeah.
back, because I was thinking about it after last week's show, I was thinking about everybody keeps saying Cleveland's a bigger market and you can charge more and do more. But how I started is like, I'm thinking, yeah, I do a lot of gigs in Cleveland, but those are the smaller gigs, like your
Hmm.
reunions, family reunions, or school dances, or your milestone birthday parties, like your 50s, 60s, or 70s birthday parties. But my
Yes.
weddings, out of all the weddings I did, I could say I only DJ one Cleveland wedding, and then I played music for one ceremony only wedding in Cleveland. All of mine, I had to like travel outside of Cleveland, like 90 minutes away from Cleveland, or 2 hours or 10 hours, or 2 hours and 10 minutes, or 2 hours and a half an hour
That's
away. So it's like, it's almost like, to me, it depends on. I want to get to. Do you think our market, is it a market that kind of like sways how we operate, or do you think it's a mindset?
I
I think
think
it's the
it's a
economy.
the economy too. I think it's a little bit of everything. Mindset, also your surrounding area. Like I said, here in northeastern PA, 10 miles up the road from me, there's Glen Mara, and the houses are they're starting off in the millions just to just to buy the home. That's not to furnish it, nothing. I mean, the price of the lot is at least 100,000, if not more. So it's like you got those people, and then you come down to like Hudson Plains, West Pittston, Swayersville, Larksville, Wilkes-Barre. You have anywhere from people just barely making it to people that might be, may say like 100,000, maybe a little over $100,000 a year. And those people, honestly, you know, it's sad to say, those people, you give them a price, boom, they're paying you. They're not asking you why you're charging this, why you charge that. You're deal with somebody like from say one of the richer areas around this area, they're nickel and diming you. It's like, no, I'm not coming down any lower. This is my price. You're having it at a venue that you're paying $300 a plate, but you only want to pay me $1,000 to DJ your wedding or your son's wedding or whoever's wedding. No, I'm sorry. For what you're paying for 3 plates, basically you're getting me for 5 hours and you're getting that plate of food for 25 minutes, if that, I mean, it's amazing. And another big thing around this area is barn weddings. They're astronomical with their prices. There are a couple barns that are very reasonable, but again, it's just the mindset and the demographics. And also now the economy is starting to filter in on it. People are trying to do stuff cheaper, and not cheaper, but how can I say? They would rather cut back on certain things, but have a good DJ. Do we need this? Do we need
I
that?
think it's the opposite sometimes. They'll spend more money on flowers and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
else, and then the DJ gets screwed over.
Yeah. The one thing they'll spend money on, nowhere like, is a photographer or a videographer. I mean, yes, they both work long days too, but we're working. We have so much behind the scenes work prior to the wedding than a photographer or videographer. Yeah, they got to make sure their memory cards are cleaned up and lenses are clean and everything. Make sure they have all their batteries charged up. But we're doing all this leg work behind the scenes, meeting with the couple, getting everything, the playlist, this, that. Then we get to the venue, we're setting everybody up, how they're going to walk in, giving them instructions, basically like babysitting them for the first hour of the reception.
So we gotta chat. Cause sometimes when we start talking, I forget to look over to the side and acknowledge our chat.
What's
So
up, people?
I see Kevin's in the house. And then
Hey, Kev.
Big DJ Services in the house. Oh yeah, Crossfire's here.
Hello, Crossfire. What's up, man?
And in the chat, make sure to answer the poll question for tonight.
What is the question for tonight?
So that it goes back to what we were talking about last week. When it comes to getting DJ bookings, what matters most? Is it reputation and word of mouth? Or is it having a system and marketing strategy? Is it social media presence? Or is it pricing and availability?
Now, like where Will lives, Will's only 40 minutes away from me.
Mm-hmm.
But that area, I mean, they're basically a lot of the people that live up in where Will lives are from New York City.
I live in the hood, bro. I carry a 9mm in my pocket.
He lives in the 6th precinct, which is in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
New York City has 5 precincts in the city. We got the 6th one here in Pennsylvania.
We're hardcore up here, man.
March buses, there'll be 25 March buses going up the mountain, picking up people that go into the city to work. And you can't blame them now, for what they're going to be taxed on if they lived in the city. Unbelievable.
Yep. So Will, how's your market?
Our market right now, I've noticed that it's a little slower than last year. I think it's probably because of the economy. But I work for 2 multi-op companies right now, and I think by this time, I think May of last year, I had 4 weddings in May from the company I worked for, and right now I think I have maybe 2 in May. So it's definitely slower. And I when you work full time like I do from Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturday and Sunday, it's hard to market yourself and it's hard to have your own business. That's why I work for like two multi-ops. I don't have to worry about booking the gigs. They give me the gigs. One company I speak to the bride and groom, the other one I don't have to, but they also pay me less. But multi-ops are for two types of DJ. One for the DJ that's starting off, and two for the DJ that doesn't have time, that's working, that does the DJing as a part-time, as a passion, as a hobby almost. So that's where I'm pretty much full-time employee. And then I do the weddings on the weekend. So I'm pretty busy. I don't have time to meet with the bride and groom. Usually I'm on the road. So what I can say is that I definitely feel that it's a little slower. It's a little slower than last year. I could feel it.
Yeah, that's how mine was. Because this year seemed like it peaked towards the end of December and January, and that's when I noticed a lot of people were inquiring for my services that were getting married in 2027. And then all of a sudden, everything just stopped. And then within this last couple of weeks, I've noticed a lot of people have been reaching out. But now those are the ones that's getting married in September and October. So I'm getting a lot of Octoberish weddings and a few Junes. So it seemed like these are the ones that's looking for a DJ at the last minute, as opposed to way out kind of things. So it's almost like,
I don't know how you guys feel about this, but when I don't do a wedding, when I DJ a regular party, it almost feels like it's a waste of my time, a waste of my abilities. Just because I do so many weddings, when I do a regular party, it's like, it feels like it's a waste of a DJ almost. I don't do kids parties anymore because I choose not to. I did that when I was younger, and so now if it's not a wedding, it kind of feels like why am I here? That kind of thing. Like it feels like it's not important enough, like it's not challenging enough. Um, how do you guys feel when you don't do a wedding? When it's like now, don't get me wrong, I love DJing at a club or like a bar where I could play like house music, underground music, and I could mix, and it feels like a club. That I could do because I could play the type of music that I like. But do you guys feel the same doing a wedding as compared to, let's say, somebody's birthday?
I don't, because it's like, again, I do a lot of the milestone weddings, like sweet 16s and your 50, 60, or 70th birthday party. And to me, I look at it like the way Prince would perform. How he'll do the big concert. That'll be like my wedding. But then he'll go and do a club set. So small, he's still rocking it. It's a different mindset, but yeah, I don't feel bored. It's just less stressful. So it's just and it's just a matter of managing a simple timeline. If they have like a special interest they want, dinner music, and then open dance. So that's how mine is.
I'll tell you, like the one thing I don't like. Well, I can't say I don't like to do them. The one thing I'm cutting back on is graduation parties. You're basically background music for the 4 hours or 5 hours that you're there. You may get a couple people that come up and dance, but most of the time they're held outside. It could be a hot, hot summer day, or it could be a rainy summer day with a lot of humidity. And again, people are coming to a graduation party. They might have 2 or 3 graduation parties that day. And I try to tell the parents that are holding the graduation party, you're getting all these people saying yes, they're coming to your party. Honestly, they're not going to stay there to eat. Some will, some won't. Some will just grab some, a couple bites of this or a couple bites of that. But they go out and they just overkill everything. But a graduation party is you're just sitting there
Feels like it's a waste of your talent.
Yeah, your background music, that's it. Okay, yeah, they give you a playlist to play by, but the thing is, it's just even though you're playing the music they want to hear, you're just there. That's it. You're like, okay. At least with a Sweet 16, you have the kids coming up requesting stuff. 9 times out of 10, the parents will allow the dirty versions of the songs because it's just the kids there. But if the grandparents or aunts and uncles there, they'll say, well, wait till they go, then you can get into their music. Great. Then that, even though I'm not announcing anything, well, okay, our Sweet 16 girl is coming up. She's going to blow out her cake, whatever, blow out her candles on her cake, da da da. That's basically the most announcements that you'll make. But at least you get the challenge of from the children. I'm saying children, even though they're 16 years old. They're challenging you to that music. Do you have this? Do you have that? And if it's before the grandparents leave, you got to make sure you have the clean version of it. But anything else, I mean, well, birthday parties are a lot of fun in my way, that I have. Because again, they're challenging. You may have some younger people there. Like say you're doing a 50th birthday party. You may have some people in their 20s or 30s. The majority are going to be 50 and up. So again, they're testing the waters. They want to hear stuff from like the mid 70s, 80s. They might want to hear some stuff of today. Then you get some that just want to hear rap music. It's like, whoa, that just knocked me out of my socks here, I did one 50th birthday party. It was at a country bar down in Shikshini, and I got there, and guy's wife gives me a list of music, and I'm like, okay, I got about 90% of these. I said, but we're in an area I have no Wi-Fi connection, so I can't get anything. So do you mind? I'll just play what I have. And it was, don't have to worry about playing the clean version. Country bar out in the country, and everything was hardcore rap. I'm like, wow, this really shocked me because I was prepared for country music that night,
Yeah, I was going to say, with mines, I can get them to dance. So but I tried, because up here, again, everybody be hating on line dances, but then there's more than just the Cupid shuffle and the wobble. So I lean on those participation songs, either the sing-alongs or the group dance kind of songs. Or sometimes, depending on the crowd, I might even think outside the box and try to do some kind of interactive activity, a straight up game or some kind of musical thing to just get people involved to have a fun time. So it's not like I get bored of just like I'm background music. I try to add something to it different so everybody can be involved.
If the graduation party's held inside where you have air conditioning, I'll have people dancing because they could dim the lights. Yeah, the lights going off of me, and they feel like, wow, okay, nobody's watching me. You're outside for a graduation party. It starts at 5:00, gets over at 9:30. It doesn't get dark till after 9, so you have 20 minutes of darkness that you have my lights on, and people are just I thought it used to be just the kids that were that way. Now the adults are that way too. They don't want to dance. I don't know what it is. Unless they have enough cocktails in them, then they're out there, they're ripping it up,
Mm-hmm. So let me get to the chat because, Diego tried to get on me a few weeks ago by being like an hour or so late with the chat. And then too, when they make comments, if I don't read it right away, I forget what we were talking about. So we have Kevin said, who's these two people pointing at each other? Yeah, I couldn't get AI to get me close. Every time AI does me, it's either I'm super old or I look like DJ Jazzy Jeff. Every time. But it's closer than Hunter's AI. Because I was like, who's that person at the beginning DJing? And then Crossfire says he's not doing weddings anymore. He has to deal with too many bridezillas.
Honestly, out of 23 years of DJing, I think I had 2 or 3 bridezillas. I had more mothers of the bride or mothers of the groom that I just wanted to be like, bang my head up the wall, like, listen, your kids paid for me, not you. You don't dictate nothing here.
Mm.
And I make the bride and groom feel at ease. I'll say, listen, you guys are the ones who are signing the contract. If your parents come up to me and say, play this, play that, and if it's on my do not play list, you don't have to worry about it. I'm not playing it. They're going to give me any lip. Come on, we'll go talk to the bride and groom, and that's it. And they usually, at that point in time, they'll walk right away.
Mm. I just catered to the parents at one time. The one time I was an emergency DJ, and this DJ didn't tell them that he wasn't going to be there. So I got the gig like 2 days before.
Oh.
Not only did he not inform them that he was in the hospital, that he wasn't going to be there, he had also had other services throughout the day. And each one of those services, the couple didn't like it. It was something going wrong. Either they had the bus where the air conditioner didn't work, or something at the ceremony. So this guy was pissed. The father of the bride was pissed.
Yeah.
So when he saw me setting up, he thought I was the help, because he thought the original guy was going to DJ.
Oh, you were a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said, wait a minute, hold up. I hope you are good, because if you're not, you all are going to hear from me, because he was so pissed. So I played everything that the bride and her group wanted to hear. But the father wanted to hear a song or dance. I put that song on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that predicament, yes, you have to be
On top of shit.
Mhm.
yes, you have to brown nose,
Mhm. But the thing was, at the same time, this is what kills me. I'm playing their song, but you all are taking pictures and going to the bar, not doing anything. They're over there dancing. So it's like, at the same time, that's like in general with me. When I do requests, if someone requests a song and they go out there and there's a group of them dancing, and I can make sure the dance floor is going, I'm going to play to that group. Not the one person that want to hear something and then you just wipe away the whole floor.
Oh, I love when they come up, give you a request, and then they go to the bathroom or they go outside to have a cigarette. Then they come back in and say, hey man, when are you gonna get to my request? I played it. No, I didn't hear it. I say, come here. And I go to my history. There it is there. That's the time I played it. Oh man, I missed it. You think I could hear it again? I'm like, if I can get it in later, I will. If I can't, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all here just for your requests.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
Just like this little girl. You don't
Oh,
play
yeah, I
the song.
Think. Flipping the bird. I'm like, oh my God, that just shows how the parents are
Selfishness.
bringing her up.
Mhm.
So much selfishness. They go to these gigs, they go to these parties, and they think it's all about them. And it's like they go up to the DJ and they ask for stuff. It's like, dude, just enjoy yourself. Just go to the dance floor. If they haven't played your song, you know what? Who cares? Go have a drink. Go have fun. Why is it that we have to hear Paradise by the Dashboard? We don't want to hear that. Only you want to hear that.
Mhm.
So it's like, come on, man, just move on. Stop harassing the DJ. Oh, he's got to play my song. It's like, come on. It's like when I go to a gig, I say hello to the DJ, I check out his equipment, and then, later on towards the end of the party, if he hasn't played a Latin song, maybe I'll go up to him and be like, "Hey, can you play Suavemente?" You know, just
Yeah.
one song later on in the night. You know what? Give him a chance to play it. We
Yeah.
have 3 hours. If he hasn't played it by the end of the night, maybe go up to him and talk to him nicely and say, "Hey, if you got a chance, here's a 20. Throw me some Suavemente." Always tip the DJ. Always.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially if you're gonna ask him for something.
Yeah,
Well, that little girl that Dwayne just showed, honestly, I looked at that and I'm thinking to myself, what kind of parents does she have? Really, she's maybe about 8 to 10 years of age and flipping the bird to the DJ. I mean, if my son or my daughter did that at that age, they get a swift kick right to the butt. I always taught them to respect your elders. I don't care if they're 5 years older than you, respect them.
But to
You know,
see,
because
but she put on lipstick and makeup, so she grown now.
oh
So you
yeah,
can't tell her
yeah, no, oh
anything.
boy.
You gotta be nice to her. You might be doing her wedding.
Mhm.
I it's amazing. And now weddings I love. They are a lot of work, but I love them.
Okay. Getting back to the chat before I get too far behind. Kevin said many are going that way just using Facebook as their website page.
Yeah, that's what's happening here, Kev.
And then he says, and then Crossfire said, yes, a year after the wedding, people can't remember the flowers, yet they can remember the entertainment. And then he went on to say, hey, cue it up, team. And then, oh yeah, then Crossfire said 9mm, stopping power here in Alabama, Sigma 40. And then it had me flashback of when I was looking for a gun, and the guy asked me, what kind of gun you want? I was like, I don't want to kill anybody, but I do want to knock them on their behind with my guitar.
My uncle who just passed away, he was a state trooper, Pennsylvania state trooper, and he always told me, if you pull your weapon, you never shoot to wound, you shoot to kill. Because in an instance, you shoot this person, you wound them, it's your word against his word. You shoot, you kill, it's just your word. That's all it is. Your self-defense and the story. I have a bunch of weapons. I mean, I can let them, if I want to let them run 100 yards, 200, 300 yards, I just pull out my 7mm Magnum, then bink.
I just ordered a bulletproof black facade.
Oh, Jesus.
It'll be in the mail. It'll be coming in soon.
What kind of multi-op are you working for?
Does anything happen, just get behind the facade.
Anything happens at any of my weddings, I'm just pulling out my banger.
Yep. And then Crossfire said October 17th is a popular date. It's been asked for 5 times. Yeah. October
June 12th.
The first Saturday and the second Saturday has been my most requested so far.
June 12th is a hot date for me also, but I'm already booked for the 12th or 6th and the 12th. Matter of fact, I just met with the bride for the 3rd time for the 6th wedding on June 6th. And their picture, their wedding, they wanted to play, the shoe game, some other games, and the toilet paper game. And I kept on explaining to him, I said,
what is this, a kid's wedding?
by the time you get down to dancing, I said, those games, I said, you're going to have maybe about 20 minutes of dancing. I said, and I always tell them, go to YouTube. Type in wedding receptions, shoe game. Type in wedding reception, toilet paper game. Or wedding receptions with games. Then you see how long that takes up. It eats up so much of your time. It's unbelievable. I could see if you're having an all day, you're starting the reception at 2:00 in the afternoon. It's up at some sportsman's club. There's a pavilion there, but it's an all day event from 2:00 to 10:00. Yeah, you want to eat up some time then. But if you're having it at a venue, a barn wedding, whatever, you're only allowed at certain times, and that's it. And boom, everything's over. Any venue, if your wedding's over at 10:00, by 9:30, the air conditioner shut off. If it's the winter time, the heat is shut off and starts to get colder in there.
And they close the bar.
Close the bar, and then boom, the lights come on. But I'll say one thing as DJing. I don't care if you're doing a graduation party, especially if some places require you to have a bartender or barmaid, but for every wedding, I always give a shout out to the bartender, and I always tell the guests, please remember, tip your bartender or tip the barmaid. They're the ones who are slinging the drink for you folks all night long.
Yeah, I got to start getting the names off of the maitre d' and also the bartender and
Yeah.
maybe the servers if I could do that. If there's too many of them, I'm not sure. Well, maybe I'll write them down and I'll mention
I
them
just,
at some
you
time
could just
during
say
the
the
night.
staff here, at
I can say the
staff
staff.
at whatever.
Okay, let's get back to the chat because that's how we got off last week.
Yep.
And then, then Crossfire says he preferred doing jams and charity events now. And then Adrian E said, "Hello, good people. Do we have
Hello,
drama?"
Adrian.
No, not yet. This is almost like a Mike Tyson
No.
fight. You know, back in the days, it started at 10 o'clock on HBO. And then he don't come on and start fighting until like 11:30. And during that first hour, they just show previews leading up to the fight and all this other stuff. So yeah, we just warming up. We waiting for the crew to come in because everybody knows now we got a reputation of waiting until like 10:10 when the crew comes over. Then that's when everything heats up.
I'm ready to bite somebody's ear off.
And then Kevin says, my friend Nancy incorporate game contents into a grad party she did. Yep.
Yeah.
Crossfire says country rap. My goodness. Top Trails, love that. And then organ grinder and clown to entertain. And then Kevin says he was waiting on purpose till money came out for a request. Oh, yeah, that's what he said about Will. Waiting for his people to tip you to play their songs.
I've gotten $20 tips every once in a while. Hey, give me a favor. Can you play all those small things? Here's $20.
Mm-hmm.
I did one wedding, and this is probably about 5 years before COVID. And what I charged the couple, they came from a rich family. Both sides were rich. What I charged them and then the amount of tips I got for playing, like the one uncle came up, he goes, hey, could you play this song and maybe back it up with this song? I'm like, well, that song ain't really going to fit. How about if I play this song first and I'll bring in the other song? Because it was a slow song. And the next song after that wasn't a slow song. So you didn't want to have this nice fast dance and then boom, kill the vibe and then boom, bring this back in again. He's like, all right, if that works, he's going to come up and give you a surprise. I'm like, okay, no problem. I thought maybe $10, whatever. Come up, all he had is $100 bills in his pocket. He's like, 5 of them. Thank you. I'm like, oh my God. I almost died. But I ended up more than doubling my money of what I charged them for that wedding. Mm-hmm. I was shocked. Honestly, I've never got that much in a tip before. And it really, really rocked me because they're appreciated. I mean, even if they don't tip you, as long as you see their heads going, and if they're still seated, a lot of people don't like to dance. A lot of people like to come there and listen to the music. And at the end of the night, they'll get up, they'll leave, and hey, thank you for playing some great songs, man. I have so many people tell me, like, for cocktail hour, I'll throw in some yacht rock music or smooth rock music. And everybody's like, oh my God, we love this. It just, you can't please everybody. Nope. But if you please the majority, you got them.
There's only 2 people you have to please. The people that are paying you. That's it.
The bride and groom. That's it. That's the only 2. You got that right, Will.
Yep. Before we transition into our second part, again, to the topics that we kind of like disagreed on last week, let's talk about the chat results. So not the chat results, but the poll results. So when it comes to getting DJ bookings in our market, what matters most? And 80% said reputation and word of mouth. And then 20% says systems and marketing strategy. And that's what I would have voted for that one too. The systems and marketing strategies. Because to me, if you have a system and marketing strategy, that can kind of like encompass a little bit of everything. Because your system could be word of mouth and reputation and getting your foot, just like what I said, getting your foot in the door to build a fan base, to build up, a word of mouth kind of referral system. And then your system can also include social media presence, and pricing and availability really doesn't fit anywhere as far as getting bookings. No, well, I should say pricing, it does. Because with your marketing, it depends on how you market to the kind of clients you want. Because some markets, just like what Will was saying, it seemed like everybody's more budget hungry. So you kind of got to kind of like take that into consideration when you're trying to, price yourself. Make sure you're
And the
falling
weddings
right
are
there.
smaller.
Right
The weddings
there.
are
So,
like 120 people, 125 people instead of like 300.
120, 125 people. That's a large wedding.
yep.
Yeah.
Usually you're talking for a regular wedding anywhere from 60 people to 80 people.
Yeah,
That's
usually.
an average wedding.
I thought
gee.
that was just me. I thought that was small because I've seen a lot of 50 to 60s. 85 it's the average, or they'll say we're expecting 150, but that number drops drastically once the event comes around. It'd be more so like that 80 to a 90 group. So yeah, I thought it was just me that the numbers seemed to be falling.
Will that affect your pricing, Dwayne? Like,
no.
like if somebody says, "Oh, why is it $1,500? It's only going to be for a wedding for 60 people."
It depends on what they want. Because I did that with this guy that called the other day. And it was only reason I dropped it because not only did he have like a small wedding, like 50 or 60 people, but he said he just want the music. So he didn't want all the lights and all this extra stuff. It's going to be an easy setup. So if it's simple, I'll go to maybe a price closer to, a lower package, but I usually don't like drop it past my, base.
With me, how can I say, I don't care if it's 60 people or if it's 300 people. Here's my price. But then if they come back and say, it's only me and the bride being introduced. We're not having our wedding party introduced. We're not having parents introduced. We're not doing the bouquet, garter toss. Nobody's giving a toast. You don't have to worry about that. Then I'll readjust the price. But if it's a 60-person wedding and they're going through all the regular formalities, I keep my price of what my regular price is. That's it. I will not come down on that, And it's sad to say, but that's what you got to be. I was talking to Will the other day, and I went on Google, and I hit Wedding Wire. I think it was Wedding Wire, and I average price of DJs in the Wyoming Valley, and the one multi-op he has in there, it starts at $9.99, which me and Will know that's a lie. But the average price for like a single person, not a multi-op, is $2,200 up to $3,500. They're not multi-ops. It's just a single person going up. Boom. That's it. That's their starting prices. That ain't their top price. That's their starting prices. I'm like, wow, they jumped up from last year. I'm like, because last year they were saying the person that's at 3,000 last year, he was at 2,500. So he knocked it up $500 for this year. I mean, I understand everything's going up in price, but if you outprice yourself, you're going to lose your business. Believe me, I've seen that happen. In two businesses, the guys raised their prices And all of a sudden, the clientele started falling away, and then they ended up going out of business. And just the last couple of years around here, I seen so many DJs. People think it's easy to DJ. Um, I seen this. It wasn't a couple. It was a sister and brother. They started their own DJ business, and that first year they were doing great. I mean, they were all over the place. The next year, say the first year they did 25 to 30 weddings. The following year, they did 18 weddings. The third year, if they did 10, that was it. After that, you didn't hear them no more. The only good thing is they didn't have to worry about buying their equipment. Their dad was an attorney, so he bought the equipment for them. But they're no longer in existence. I mean, here's two younger people that were, I think they were in college already, and they were basically going for communications. So the DJ business was actually in their field, but they're not DJing no more because they raised their prices. They raised them. And I'm like, I even talked to the brother. I said, man, you've only been doing this for 2 years. You raised your price like $800 from last year to this year. Well, everything goes up. Yeah, it does, but you got to go by your experience too when you're a DJ. You can't just jump in and say, hey, boom, it's $3,000. How many weddings did you ever do? You'll be my first if you book me, that's a scary thing. And I'm the client going, he never did a wedding before. She never did a wedding, or they never did a wedding before. I'm like, well, sure you want to, give out $3,000 to this couple to DJ our wedding? Most likely not. I would say not,
Yeah, see that one again. That's the one of those tricky ones, and this goes back to, and Sean laid it out perfectly, and he said it again Tuesday on the roundtable. When you raise your prices, you raise it. If you see that you're getting booked all the time, and you doing, he says 80% of the inquiries or bookings, then he says that's a time for him to raise his price just a little, because it depends on what do you want to earn at the end of the year and how much work you want to do. So if you, just like you said, you did 30 weddings at this amount, if you raise your price and you get like 20, 18 of those weddings, you lost 10 to 12 of those weddings. But if you raise your price, just think how much more you would have got at that new price. So it's almost like you got to really watch your numbers and adjust and go accordingly to the, it's, what do you call it? Something in demand, cost of demand, or demand, basically demand. I'll just leave it at that. But
I think if you go from one point, say you're doing weddings for $1,200, and all of a sudden you go from $1,200 to $2,000, that's a steep jump for a second-year player in a game.
Oh, see, and that goes right back. That leads right back to what I was saying last year. That's where marketing and building that trust. If you have the social proof there, again, just like I keep saying it, they look for you in 4 different spots before they reach out to you. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times they're doing their research on a DJ, and a lot of times, especially on Wedding Wire, you're not the only DJ that they ask. So every time you get a lead, you got to think they have reached out to at least 3, 4, or sometimes 5 other DJs. So that's where making sure soon as you see the inquiry, the quicker you can respond and start having that conversation with them, the better your chances are outshining the other DJs. The second thing is also when you respond back to them, you try to respond and end your message with a call to action or ask an open-ended question, because you want to have that conversation. Because if you can keep having a conversation with them, then that separates you more from the pack. So that's where marketing comes into play, making sure you have pictures, making sure you state clearly who you are, what kind of service you can provide to that client to try to, again, separate yourself from the pack. And when you separate yourself from the pack and tell them who you are, you're not telling them, speaking about your equipment. Because a lot of DJs, they market themselves to their client like a normal, the general public, like they're talking to another DJ. Because they're not all that tech savvy. So therefore, you don't want to have a lot of DJ jargon in your kind of messaging or your marketing. And then Janai did a good video on websites that succeed, and a lot of those I guess you could say best practices can go into whatever messaging or how you promote yourself as a DJ. Because again, you want to make your message clear, something that's easy for the client to be able to read and understand. Because if they have to do a lot of reading and if there's a lot of technical issues and stuff that you're speaking about, then they're not going to really stick with you.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking when they raised their prices, they wasn't strategic with it. And then once things start to dip so far, they didn't make adjustments back to try to get back those clients. Because that's where I'm at right now. Because I raised my prices. I did a big jump, and last year I had at least 2 or 3 gigs each month. But this year, after I raised my price, I didn't have anything in January, February, most of March. But now the last couple of weeks, it started to kick in, and I say this to
April.
I say this to say it also takes time, and you also got to make sure you market yourself and show value in the price that you're offering. So that's the main thing, and that's going to take time. And this you just have to just not doubt yourself when you raise your price, because it is going to drop, because people are you have a reputation of being this kind of DJ. And when you move up to the next tier, it's going to take time for everyone to get used to that new pricing. And that's what ChatGPT had to talk me off the ledge, because I was second guessing myself and thought I made a big mistake. But it was like, no, it's going to happen. It's just you're in a transition period. Just give it time. Just make sure your marketing and everything is lining up that's showing this new price range. And it worked. I have to say it actually worked.
Now, Will, you work for 2 multi-ops, and do you know if their prices have differed from last year? Did they go up? Did they go down?
I haven't been in the office on the first one. The second one is too new yet, I think, for me to like get into that conversation with him.
Okay.
But it's like I'll tell by like June, July, August, like halfway through the season. I could get word from the grapevine to see how things are going with the company. I'm trying out a different company this year to see if I like it. They pay me better, and it's a new company, so it's a little different. And let's see what happens. If I like them, I'm gonna stick with one, because let me tell you, to keep up with the dates with both companies fighting over you, it's not easy, because the one will call you up and go, yeah, you have this date available? And then I have to look to see, and okay, no, I don't have it available. They're like, why don't you have it available? You don't want to work for us anymore?
Because you moonlighting.
So now you got 2 companies fighting for you for your services. So I'm finding that to be a little bit hard when you work for 2 companies.
Mm-hmm. So when you work for these companies, how much of you do the people see, or do they see, instead of DJ Will, do they see wherever the company is? So that is your identity.
I think what the one guy does is I believe that he has his main team, and then when he gets over booked and he doesn't have anybody else, he'll give it to me because he pays me
Person out.
cash. He
Yeah.
pays me cash. So, I don't have to worry about stuff with him. And then, but it does get busy. I mean, I think I did like 15 weddings for him last year. For me, that's a lot
Yeah.
because I do work full time. So this year, I'm probably going to be averaging about the same. But this year, I'll be making more because the other company pays me more. I'm in both their websites. I'm listed as the bilingual DJ, as a Spanish DJ on one, and then on the other one, pretty much everything. But I'm the specialty guy. I'm like, if they need a Spanish DJ, that's what I'm here for. So I'm somewhat valuable because I could do both, and I could MC in Spanish and English, somewhat. Because we're gonna get into that in another show when it comes to Latin music, but I am valuable because I do bilingual work. So,
Now, well, I have a question for you. Like, say, okay, I'm the owner of this multi-op, and I say, all right, well, I need you to DJ this wedding for me. I give you a list of instructions, what we need to get done that night. And one thing is to hand out these glow sticks or foam tubes. Do you hand them out too?
yeah, what you have to do is you got to go to the office
No,
and
but you know what I get at, buddy.
you got
Yeah,
to pick them up. He usually gives it to you in a big garbage bag, and then
yeah, but
it's all
how
total
you
like
how you forgot that one time and how he came down on you. Like,
yeah, he gave me a black garbage bag full of the LED batons and hats and sunglasses and stuff like that. So I'm like, hey, no big deal. I do it all the time. Not really all the time because I don't do it all the time. So let's just put it that way. Let me rephrase that. I've done it before, but I don't do it all the time. I got
Mhm.
there. It was a barn wedding. I set up. I have a black facade and everything. The photographers and the videographers came in, and you know how they are. They have bags galore, and they just threw everything behind the DJ booth and to the side, to the left, and to the right of me. And that's where I had the black bag full of the novelties,
Yes.
the giveaways, and because I'm so focused with DJing and as the wedding goes along, I totally forgot to give them out because they mixed into all the black bags and all the stuff
Yeah.
that the so what I'm doing from now on, whenever he gives me or somebody else gives me giveaways, I either I have a plastic bin, or I take like one of those I'll grab one of those nice baskets and I'll put it right in front of the DJ booth with all the stuff in there. Um, that way I visibly see it and I won't forget to all I have to say is just ladies and gentlemen, just grab whatever you want. It's right in front of the DJ booth. You don't have to give it out. They come in and they grab it and they take it. You don't have to worry about that stuff anymore.
I mean, I even like when a bride and groom asked me, "Hey, do you have these novelties like the glow sticks or whatever?" I say, "Well, I could get them for you, but this is what it's going to cost." Now, if you go on Amazon or you go on eBay, you could buy them, bring them to the wedding, bring a basket, bring like a small garbage can, whatever. You could throw them right in there. Boom. I'll make the announcement. And and I have couples will say, "Hey, listen, Mike, we don't want to deal with that. We don't care if we have to pay you extra. We'd rather pay you extra than us dealing with it." Okay, no problem. But I give them the opportunity to purchase the stuff themselves and save a little bit money. But 9 times out of 10, they have so much other stuff on their mind. They'd rather pay the extra money and just let me handle it. So, which is good, because it's
Mind you,
extra
I've been
money.
working with this guy for almost 4 years. I've never been late for any event. I've never messed up any intros. I've never messed up the music. I've been pretty much flawless for the last 4 years. And for the guy to get pissy with me because I didn't give out novelties, I didn't give out the glow sticks or whatever. It's like, come on, man. It's like, give me a break.
I ran to a friend of mine who used to be he was the banquet manager up here at the Woodlands. Well, the Woodlands is no longer, as you know. And the multi-op that you work for, they were hired to do a wedding. But I don't know if was it a guy like you that he paid you cash, or was it one of his stable of DJs? They got there 10 minutes before the introductions. All the guy did is, thank God he had the song. It was only one song for the entrances. He Bluetoothed it, had the one speaker up. The speaker was a Bluetooth speaker. He put that on, put a microphone to it, and did the introductions. Did the first dance. Nothing else was set up. The other guys are starting to set up stuff, and everything came out of one speaker. And they work for the same multi-op that you work for.
Yeah. Mind you guys, when you guys work for a multi-op, you have to be perfect, because what happens is at the end of the night, those people will go back to the office. They will bitch and moan for a discount or for money to be returned, and they're going to go out of his pocket. Usually they don't take it out of your pocket. They take it out of the owner's pocket. But
Yeah.
he doesn't, of course, he's not going to like that. So, try not to make any mistakes and stuff. That's the problem. When you work for a multi-op, you have to deal with that. When you don't work for a multi-op, the only person that they have to deal with is you. So, hey, you know what? If you forget to do something, it's on you. So you don't have to worry about getting, somebody on you for what you did. So it's your butt.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that's what it goes right back to the poll questions. For those that's coming in, I'd like to welcome everyone that's coming in over from the Start to Spin show. And I'd like to give a special welcome back to our friend DJ Troll is in the house.
Troll. Yeah, Troll, how you doing?
It's been a while.
Oh, I got 502 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Finally cracked that 500 mark. I'm like, wow,
Nice.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Yep, and then he said, Dwayne looks so tired listening to these people ramble on. Story time with Mike. Yeah, but see, it's not official because I didn't hit the button.
Well, where have you been? Where's Troll been?
Oh, good. How do you think the photo booths and the video phones get made? He gotta do the blueprint and make sure it get made right. But going back to what I was saying with my prices, it's like and Kevin had brought it up. Let me go back to the chat. People count is dropping because meal prices is rising. So they trying to save costs and they invite less. And then he went on to say, more heads usually means everything would take longer time-wise, so they go hand in hand. That goes back to all the party games like the shoe game and all that. If you get less bookings, but the price increase with the less bookings equal the previous level, then it's a wash and you have more free time. And that's how I'm looking at it. That's why when you try to raise your prices, you try to do it, I was going to say in increments. You got to be strategic about how you raise prices. And then two, it could be one of those things where I didn't want to keep doing low level gigs, the $500 and $600 gigs. I wanted to start getting money like everybody else is saying they get money. So I'm like, I'm listening to everybody's story. I'm like, I'm doing that, so I should be getting twice as much, triple as much. So that's why I raised my prices. And all those, as Buddy would call, tire kickers, have kind of like waned off for the most part.
Well, I'll tell you, I will donate my time to certain functions or certain charities. One thing I found is if somebody calls me up for a fundraiser, definitely you got to investigate that fundraiser, because I had a lady say that she had cancer and turned out she didn't have cancer. It was her sister. sister, benefit for herself. But if it's like the ARC, I do a lot of stuff for the ARC. They're mentally handicapped, are mentally disabled, men, women, children. And to see them smile, man, that makes me feel so good inside. You know, I could play the same song over and over and over. They wouldn't know. They just love to dance and have a good time. But I make sure I mix the music up for them. You have to never forget where you came from. Because before you were a DJ, you were the one that was listening to the DJ. Then you started getting into being a DJ. You were down here. Now you worked your way up the ladder. You're up here. But never forget, keep your 2 feet on the ground. Never go up and say, hey, I'm DJ so-and-so. Like you deserve certain privileges or whatever, or you deserve a certain pricing because you're DJ so-and-so. I keep your 2 feet on the ground. Keep grounded,
And again, it goes back to the way that you market yourself. Make sure if you come with that kind of, I guess you can say swag or attitude, that your swag or attitude matches the service that you put out. And just like when you up your prices, make sure your services matches your price point. And that goes right back to marketing again. So make sure if you're going up in prices, that all your marketing shows that you're worth that price. And that's why I spent doing my, I guess you could say my extended in between gigs times. That's where I spent a lot of my time doing, making sure that I look the part of a more, I wouldn't say luxury DJ, because when you say luxury, I'm thinking those that have the photo booths or the big, huge, lighting system and all that. But I'm that upper mid tier, I guess you could say, DJ, as opposed to your budget friendly DJ.
I'll tell you, I've done so many weddings. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I've done hundreds and hundreds of weddings, and I had guests from the weddings coming up to me and say, "Man, I wish you were in our area." That they came from out of state to their cousin's wedding or whatever. It might be the sister's wedding, whatever. And they met a DJ. They sat down, they met with him, viewed his website. Everything looked perfect. This is the guy we want. Viewed his Facebook page. Yeah, definitely. It's him. This is our guy. And when it came time down, it came to their wedding. What he was in his videos and what he was in real life is like night and day. It was like he made so many mistakes. He cut off songs. He played the wrong song for this, played the wrong song for that. And they were shocked, And they even told him, they said, "Oh, your YouTube channel, your Facebook, your website, everything's perfect. That's what we went on." And he said, "Well, I make mistakes. I'm human." I told him, I said, "Listen, I could see a mistake, maybe two, but if that guy made 5, 6, 7, 8 mistakes during your wedding, that's the type of person he is. He doesn't care. It's going to be a one and done deal and move on to the next victim,
I got the same problem with me. I got pictures on my website with this skinny, good-looking guy, and then all of a sudden I show up at the wedding. They're like, "Who's this fat guy?" What the hell?
I was at DJing TV the one night. Brian pulled up a picture of me when I had long hair and sunglasses on. I was on the Jersey beach. And he's like, "Oh my God, dude, you look like Bon Jovi sitting there on the beach." And I had the long hair like Bon Jovi, the sunglasses like Bon Jovi. I was skinny like Bon Jovi.
Good old days.
But going back to your comment and then your comment, Will, going back to your comment, Mike, that just shows that he had good marketing. Because again, because you had made a comment several times about all that glitters isn't gold. But
Gold.
see, the glittery stuff is what catches people's eye. So
Yeah.
that goes back to your marketing and having a system so to get you booked. Now, what you do with that
Yeah.
booking, that's all up to you. But the thing is, to get that, to catch that client's eye and then have that conversation and that leads into closing that booking and doing the gig. So that's the biggest thing is as far as DJing and trying to run a business. And then Will has said, dang, I just lost my thought what Will was saying. You just said the
Oh,
opposite.
something about the website.
Yeah, the website. That's why it's important to always update your pictures and stuff on your website and your social media. So therefore, it reflects who you are now. And also, it's important to try to meet with your couple. I try to do a Zoom. So therefore, we can put a face to face. And I just recorded a video that I need to send to one of my clients on Facebook. Not Facebook, but Wedding Wire. Just like Tom said, sometimes it's easier to do like a short video introduction. So therefore, they could put a face and a name together. So you can try that.
I'm
You
a
all keep
dinosaur.
smiling. Let me see.
according to DJ.
Troll must be going to town in my chat. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur according to Troll. Yeah, I'm a T-Rex. DJ Troll, I'm going to be 61, buddy.
Mhm.
And believe me, I usually average. This year's a little bit slower. I have like 22 weddings booked for this year.
Mike DJ's on 45s.
Yeah, yep. That's it, man. 45s. Spin them around. But the thing is, like, the guy had great marketing skills, and there is a DJ in our area. Well, I don't know if you know him. He sets himself as not a multi-op. He's just a single op guy. That's it. Blah blah blah. And people book him. They get to their wedding, to their reception, and they see somebody else there, and they're like, "Who are you?" "Oh, I work for this guy." And he's like, "No, he's a single op." "Oh no, he has other DJs working for him." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I've seen him do this so many times. It's unbelievable." It's like, why lie to your customers?
Did he sign a contract with them?
Was that?
Did he sign a contract with them?
Oh yeah. He signed a, but all it says is he's providing DJ services. Doesn't say him like his name. It's just he will provide DJ services for this said event. So it could be anybody being back there behind the decks.
But you gotta be
Anybody at all.
careful of that, especially since you're saying that a lot of people go to your Facebook page. Because I also been like looking. I've joined several different bridal or wedding type of Facebook group pages for Ohio and stuff. And if you come and be shady as a DJ, they will blast you on Facebook. So he needs to be careful because he'll get that reputation and mess up his business playing around.
This guy, he's basically ready to retire anyhow, or getting close to it. But he is, believe me, he's a total pig. The stuff he does to females at the wedding reception, and his wife is right there with him. The one venue he's not allowed to DJ at all nowhere, because he did a few things to one of the bridesmaids, and that was it. They said, "You touch her one more time, you will be arrested." And that was it. He just stayed far away from her. And it's sad that your wife is there and you're doing stuff like this. No, that to me is totally, even if you weren't a DJ, if you're a guest at a wedding doing stuff like that's a no-no, But he just doesn't care, and that's the same thing when he DJs. If it's him, if you book him, again, his contract doesn't say DJ Joe Smith is your DJ for the wedding. It just says, Joe Smith's wedding DJ services is providing DJ services for the said wedding. Not no name, not DJ Joe Smith Wedding Services is providing. It's just we'll provide DJ services. So again, that can mean anybody he wants to pull in off the streets. And the reason he does this is he may book this wedding at 3,500, and then somebody calls him and says, "Oh, I have a wedding up in the Poconos or at Glen Mara." Well, that's a more pricey wedding. So he'll go DJ that wedding, and he'll hire somebody to DJ this other wedding. It's just it's unbelievable what this guy does, and he's still in business now. The one other DJ around this area, the Super Bowl, he made so many comments. It was unbelievable. I try not to post anything political, religious, anything on my Facebook website, whatever. And
you told us about that story where he.
Yeah, the guy, he comes out smelling like a rose at the end of the day. I'm like, whoa, okay, it's sad,
Yep, but you can't control what other people do or how other people react. So let's move on. But DJ Tro, even though he talks a lot of stuff in the chat, he does drop some gems from time to time. But he does. He said those.
I've seen some cows drop some gems too, like DJ Troll. Cows, they drop gems too. Like DJ Troll.
And he said those wedding Facebook groups, there's a lot of broke couples, or I shouldn't say broke. Let me rephrase it. A lot of budget clients. That's why sometimes also when you market yourself and you like use those services like Wedding Wire, The Knot, but then you have Bark, Thumbtack, Gig Salad, and all those other groups. Some of those groups you gotta like be careful putting your name on there because it attracts a certain clientele, and therefore when you're trying to brand yourself at a certain level, associating yourself with that kind of platform can also diminish what you're trying to accomplish.
God, yeah. There was a DJ in our area, DJ Mo, his name was. God bless him. It was a drive-by shooting, get shot right in the head, but he would go and DJ events for free, like for the church, for whatever. And he was always for peace. I mean, he would have live DJ sets down in Wilkes-Barre, and he would have DJs coming in from New York City. He happened to be at this bar the one night. He was supposed to be DJing, and here he gave it to another DJ. He happens to walk outside. Somebody comes by, boom, 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 boom. And God bless his soul. He's no longer with us. It's just unbelievable.
And then one more comment before we get to our spin the wheel to talk about some of the topics that was kind of like open-ended from last week. He said something because he said another good one. Oh, he says, have them find a sponsor for your service. We don't donate anything. But because I was going to say about DJing like free events or less than events than we normally charge. I try to be strategic with it. I don't just do it just to be doing it. I have to get something out of it. If it's not monetary, or at least some kind of service, there's some kind of trade or some kind of exposure that I'm looking for. That it's almost like I'm looking at it as a warm-up or I'm auditioning for my next client. So I have a reason for being there and not just doing it just to be doing it.
Yeah, I agree with you there 100%. There's only a few that I will DJ for free, and I know they are like the Ark. I know they're a worldwide company. They're not even a company. They're a nonprofit organization that help these people that have a mental disability. They're not getting paid. Why should I walk and demand something from them? That's how I feel.
Okay, so let's get to our spin the wheel. For those that missed it, there were some topics that had a lot of going backwards and forth. I just want to make sure we clear the air on those. And so we got 25 minutes before we hit 11 o'clock. So let's keep it short. Let's think of this like a lightning round. So no long stories. So just answer it and then move on. But some of the things that we talked about was where we kind of like went backwards and forth. Website versus no website. Our sales call approach. Our follow-up strategy. And then we talked about our DJ role, when to stay in our lane, and when, to lend out a helping hand. We've already talked about small market and big market for the first hour. Pricing and value perception, our marketing approach. We talked about online marketing scammers. That was part of the website versus no website.
Mm-hmm.
And then our business philosophy. And that was the big one that we had last week.
Yeah.
So here's the first one. We're just going to do random topics.
Well, DJ Troll, so nice to see you back on the YouTube channels.
All right, DJ Roll. And even though, again, this is a two-way street, so those in the chat, as you see the questions or the comments, put in the chat what do you think about those comments. So as far as the DJ role and staying in your lane, let me see what specifically was talked about. Oh, it was like we discussed about not overstepping and not doing too much, just being a flow manager or coordinator, and then some people took that a whole lot other steps. It's like, are you the DJ or are you the other vendor? Are you the photographer, the chauffeur, the valet? So who are you? So when is it? So what is your opinion about the DJ role as far as when it comes to doing consultation and doing it like a wedding?
My consultations, somebody can call me up. They ask me if I'm available at that day. I say, yes or no. If I'm available, fine. I need some information off you guys. Then I'll say, all right, I would rather sit down and talk to you guys. Then we could discuss pricing and everything. And I don't discuss anything about pricing until I meet them in person. Do not mention anything about add-ons until I meet them in person. Then they start looking at my contract and they say, oh, you got up lighting? Oh, you got tube lighting? Oh, you got this or you got that? Yes. Okay, can we add this on? Can we add that on? No problem. And that's after I discuss the price with them. I never push anything down any client's throats. I'm back here, talk to them, meet them, and then we discuss the price. After I get all the facts that I need, okay, the wedding is here. They need me for their ceremony. They need me for the reception. Ceremony is at a different location. Well, it's a different price. Then the price goes up because you have two steps then. If it's at the same area, not just at the same area, if it's in the reception hall, I'll do it for an extra $200. If I have to go outside the reception hall, just 100 feet, it's a double step. So I got to charge more. I'm not charging $900 more. I'm charging maybe $400 more because I have to have a different speaker, second computer, another controller, another mixer, another set of microphones. It's just that's a total different add-on completely.
You're giving the PC answer because that's not how that conversation went last week.
No, I know, and that's what I sat back and I thought of it after we talked about it. I'm like, what? I was stupid because what we talked about, how I answered it last week. I'm like, my God, I never do that crap. I always
So therefore, I was not wrong.
no, you
So I
were
wasn't
right.
wrong when I was calling
Yeah.
Cap on everything you were
Yeah.
saying last week.
Yeah, you were right. You were
I
right.
was like,
Honestly,
I'm like, you're the DJ. I'm like, why are you talking about they should sit here? That I can see if you saying that, not putting certain people by your speakers, that kind of stuff. But I was like, you was going like, you was talking about the color of their flowers and all that stuff. I'm like, that's not your place.
no. I mean, if they ask me for advice, then I will give them some advice on different things. Me, and my buddy, he's in the photography business. He wanted to break into the wedding business. So what we did is we ran a special together, but they had to book both of us to get the discount. If they only booked me, they didn't get the discount. If they only booked him, they didn't get the discount. They had to book both of us to get the discount. And now he's doing great. And we still run specials from here, from time to time. Or he'll come up and say, Mike, I got this couple calling you. Great people. I'm doing the photography. Do you want to give them a discount? Yeah, no problem. Let's do it. So which it works out good for both of us. But he
Remember, it's supposed to be
couple-
short answers, not
he
no
sent me a
long stories.
oh yeah, this is quick. He sent me a couple of very, very wealthy, gave him a price. The lady wanted to pay me right up front, the whole price. I'm like, no, I only take a deposit. The next day she calls back and cancels. They're going to Guitar Center to rent equipment. I said, okay, tell your brother congratulations. Okay, when can I meet you to get my deposit back? It's right in the contract. Look at that, section 2, part A.
Okay.
What do you mean I don't get my deposit back? There it is. You sign the papers. Did you read it? You initial each page.
Okay. So see, you threw me off because I had a thought going on what you were saying, but basically the role of the DJ to me is you're there to create an experience that the couple is looking for. So
Yes.
that's your job, is to do that. And then once you get there and you see the other vendors, make sure that you introduce yourself to the other vendors, and then all of you all on the same page, especially if you're the one that had put together the timeline. So make sure, for example, I give my photographer a timeline so she can be in place when certain things happen, so she can get that picture, or being in contact with the caterers. So to see if we're on time as far as the food, or do we need to pivot and do something else. So that's all that I do. I don't try to tell other people what to do.
No.
And all that
I
kind of
print
stuff.
out a timeline for every vendor that's going to be there.
Mhm.
And then this way I just hand it to them instead of them coming up and running, asking me, hey, are we doing it? What time are we doing this? What time are we doing that? They have that. They have the timeline right with them. They know exactly what time we're doing it. But then if we're running behind on something, they may come up and question, but otherwise they're just going right by the same timeline I'm going by.
Yep.
Most
And
of
then
the
I think
time
you
it-
might have said deposit, because
Most of the time, doesn't it feel like they just come to us for everything? It's like,
Yeah, 99.9%
what time are we
of the
doing
time.
this? What time do you got? What time do you do? What time are we doing cake? What do you got? Okay. And this is like the place. The actual maitre d is actually coming up to you. Either they have everything on point and you're going by them, or they have nothing and they're going by you.
Yeah.
but see
And I
that's the
did say
difference
deposit.
between a single op and a multi-op. Because in your situation, you usually have somebody else do the deal for you and then give you the information, and then you need to execute it. So being a single op, you have the conversation and you work with the couple to put together their timeline. So that's why they come to me, because we pretty much put together the timeline, and then I try to make it so that the couple can enjoy their night, and they didn't depending on me to make sure things happen at a certain time, so they really can just do their thing, and then I just point to them and be like, it's time to cut the cake, it's time to do the first dance or whatever, it's time for the garter toss or what, those kind of things. So it's almost
I
like you
did
just
say-
walking them through the night.
I did say deposit, but actually it's a retainer fee. not a deposit, retainer fee. That's right in my contract, a retainer fee, because it is the deposit. What they can actually do is, say if you charge $2,500 for the wedding and they gave you um $500 for a deposit, well, they're going to take that 500 and say, well, no, I only owe you this amount, or I want my $500 back, and here you go. I mean, I've seen a lot of different hairy things with that, so that's why I changed it to a retainer fee. um it's just, we have to be professional about it. It sucks when people cancel and they think they're going to get that retainer fee back. No, it's right in my contract. It says a retainer fee is non-refundable. End of story. You
Yep.
know,
And then, Troll, I also noticed this too, just recently. Because, and this goes back to what Will had asked last week about how do we sell ourselves during our consultations. But DJ Troll had mentioned 90% of today's couples want quick and easy booking. They want the path of least resistance. Meeting in person is crazy. We maybe meet 5% of our couples before the day of their wedding, and that's usually because they insist of it, or if it's a new venue we need to see. And he said he booked 3 weddings on Tuesday for over $10,000. I never met a single one of them. One of them was completely text, and we were short phone calls. And that's exactly what I'm noticing too. A lot of them just they already made up their mind if they're going to book you or not. So I'm noticing that I really don't have to go through my whole sales pitch. I still have that workflow that I do for my phone call, but it's more so just making sure we have an understanding of what they want so I can price them correctly, and then get all the logistics, and they just want a price, and then if it's good, then they're ready to book. So I don't have to do a lot of talking and selling like I had in the last the few years.
most of mine is the phone call, the first phone call. I get the logistics off them. I come back, give them a price, send them my contract. If they say yes, boom, and then they want to meet with me to give me that deposit. And they just want, because where I live here, the couple might be only driving 3 miles. I might be driving 3 miles to get to the place where we meet out. Never meet at your home, never meet at your office, always meet in a public place.
And then Kevin said a DJ's role is to be a facilitator, and concierge service is what you provide. All right, and then let's get to our next question. Or a statement, I should say. All right, marketing approach to things. Let me see, what was it exactly that we were saying? I think a lot came from, because I live in a small market, then certain, I guess you could say, the way that we approach our DJ business or pricing justifies that, the market or our demographic justifies the way that we do things. And I'm trying to, because I made notes from specifically what was the backwards and forth marketing approach, because I know I have that. Sales call, DJ's role, small marketing, big marketing. Marketing.
I think it's a good idea not to talk about price during the first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, I'm consultating now with different folks, and I'm noticing that they just want, just listen to them, and then once you listen to them, then you kind of like put together a plan to hook them.
Yep. And remember,
I am.
do not talk a lot. That's the main
don't-
thing.
Don't get into like technical stuff like too quickly and too early, and it's because then you scare them away. So just listen to them, let them talk as much as they want, keep it simple, and then just at the end of it all, just say, okay, I'll reach out to you guys soon or whatever, and just the next day or 2 days later, reach out to them and kind of like say, hey, look at these are the prices, just in case you need to know, and if you want, but just definitely not in the first consultation. Do not talk about prices because you will scare them away unless they ask.
But it depends on how you set your phone calls up too, because it depends on what kind of call you're doing. But also there's a way that you're supposed to lead into it. And if you lead into it, they pretty much at that point you should have them already sold that they're gonna go with you.
Depends. It could be that they're price shopping too.
Yeah.
Kevin, why should I be broke? I want to ask Kevin that question. Why should I be broke? Why should I be broke, buddy? I've done more weddings this last year than you probably did in the last 3 years.
That's what got us in trouble last week.
I know. That just killed me. I should be broke.
Stick to these topics because I want to move on. I don't want our anniversary show because next week will be our 1 year anniversary. I don't want to have to do a rebuttal because we arguing with the chat.
What my marketing approach is, I had a phone call from a mom of the bride, or mom of the groom, and first thing she wanted to know is, how much would I charge for a 4-hour wedding? I said, well, I need some information from you. And she goes, well, what do you need? I said, I need to know the times, the place, the location where I'm going to be DJing at. Why does that matter? I just need a price on 4 hours. I said, the location matters because if I have to drive 2 hours or 3 hours, or if I have to drive a half hour and I got 4 flights of steps to go up, there's a difference in price then. And she goes, I'll get back to you. I never heard back from her. That's what when I first get that first phone call, the only thing I want from them is time of the reception, how many hours do you need me for ceremony, and the location. That's it. Then I will put a price together for you and get back to you.
I look at it. I have to look at it like a used. Not I shouldn't say used car salesman, but a car salesman or anyone that's working on commission. Because when I do a phone call, when I first get the inquiry, I try to get a phone call or some kind of communication with them. And my communication is to find out what do they want, what kind of experience they want, and so I can give them a price, to guide them to a price, and then lead them to sending them a proposal. And hopefully I can get a signed proposal. Because I don't want to just, on the first call, talk to them and then leave it at that. Because then you allow them to go shop somewhere else. I try to get them to at least conversate, but also try to get to a booking real quick, or at least a retainer. Because if you let them, if you leave stuff on the table, or let them walk and give them too long to think about it, then that's when it makes it harder to close the deal.
There are a lot of DJs in this area that'll say, okay, 4-hour wedding, it's $1,100. And then they find out that they have a 2 or 3 hour drive, or it's at this location that they have to walk 4 football fields to get to, over a little bridge because you can't drive your vehicle over it. It takes you 2 hours to unpack your car or unpack your van and get your equipment into the venue because of all this walking distance. It's, that's why I need to know the place where I'm going.
But how do you get where do your leads come from? I mean, like, I'm not.
Where do my leads come from?
Yeah.
Word of mouth or Google.
So they just call you out of the blue?
Well, my phone number's right on Google. My phone number's on my Facebook account. My phone number's on my what do you call website that hasn't been updated in years. Basically every place I have my phone number. Different venues, they want my cards. I give them my cards, and they'll go to the couple will go to the venue. Oh, we're looking for a DJ. They'll call me up, but they won't tell me that they're calling from this venue. And I always tell the venue manager, if you give somebody my card, please tell them when they call me to let me know where they're calling. So and so referred me. This way, I'll give them. I work with different venues and give them a certain price. Then, the thing is, when they call, like the one venue, honestly, to load in and load out, no more to lie, it's about an hour and a half because you've got to walk around, you got to go down steps, go back up steps, back down steps, walk down the stone path, go up over a bridge, go down another stone path, and then you get into the venue, which is it's basically, it's a pavilion, but it's a very classy pavilion. But just that setup alone, I mean, you're walking back and forth with your cart. You're back and forth. And then they have an outside restaurant. So you're saying, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, because you're walking between people are sitting there eating. They don't have no easy access to this one venue. Nothing at all.
Because I was going to say, because really, only time I get a phone call from someone asking for a DJ, that's usually a birthday party or one of those like private little, the little low-level parties. But for weddings, they usually send some kind of lead form or text. So therefore, I have all that information. I usually, before I talk to them, go to the website of the venue and look at certain things beforehand, so I know what to ask. Or at least if I'm on the phone, that's why I like doing phone calls at my computer. So while they're talking, I just ask them to give me a second, and I look up the venue and look over the setup and stuff. So therefore, I know before I give a price. Because I was going back to what you had said earlier about when they call you and they tell you that they want a 4-hour wedding, and you just give them a price, and then you get ghosted.
Yeah, I wouldn't give them just the price. Other DJs would just give them a price. Because me, it's always location. What services do you need? That's a must is the location. What venue am I going to?
But I'm getting at, because still you're missing the point. And that's something I had to learn. And because when I do I've been practicing my sales calls pitch, and then also, again, I use, what is this? Community Lytic or something. But actually, it's an AI recorder. So I record the consultation time, the consultation. So therefore, I get all the information. I don't miss anything. I can have something to
fall back on.
Do the follow up in the email. But also, I use ChatGPT to score how I did with that consultation. So it keeps me in line to make sure they'll be like, here you did too much talking, or you got too technical, or this is what you did good, and give me pointers. But the thing is, it always go back to showing the again, I hate these senior members. I got too much on my mind. It's all about showing value to your service. Yeah, that's the main thing. So when you say your price, if you already show established values and how that package fits into their vision, it's easier for them to consume that price value, and you won't get that much kickback. Because if you can show where there's value into what they're investing in, they'll help steer you to closing at that price that you quote them at.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like when they call, I'm on my phone. Here it is, right here, and they call me. I put it on speakerphone. Okay, what venue you got? What venue is that again? Boom, boom, boom. Right on Google. I look at the venue. Look, I'm looking at my load in and load out because you go onto the venues website, Facebook page, whatever. They have pictures of all the weddings and everything that was done there. It's just that my first phone call is short and sweet. You need my services. What services do you need? Do you need my services for reception, or do you need, ceremony and reception? Where's the venue at, and what's the venue's name? That's all I need to know. That's it. It's short and sweet. Boom. Then I call them back with the price, and then, okay, Mike, we want to book you. What's your fee? Do you need a 50% retainer fee? Do you need a 20% retainer fee? And it's a 20% retainer fee. They send that to me, or meet with me to give me the money because they want to see me face to face. And again, it's just, it's not like from here to Scranton's 12 miles. So if I meet somebody halfway, they're traveling 6 miles, I'm traveling 6 miles. It's not like like you said, you have to travel 90 minutes for a wedding. I'm traveling approximately 20, 25 minutes for a wedding. That's it. I mean, that's the shortest of the distance. But one venue, they just put an elevator in. It's great. You go up and down now. Now my price is going to come down for that venue. I don't have to worry about going up 3 flights of steps no more,
But I still say use technology to your advantage, because
oh yeah, definitely.
now I don't know too many people that want to travel. So if it's easier to do a Zoom call or a call, because that's how my clients prefer. They say, in fact, a lot of them don't do a Zoom call. They'll do a regular phone call. But I try to do a Zoom call at least a couple of times, or at least that last meeting, because I want to see them face to face, and kind of like seeing a person, you can get more information, nonverbal information, as opposed to hearing a voice. But
my last meeting has to be definitely in person. I'm not doing a phone call with them, whatever. I prefer, like, from the time that they call me, and then they want to book me, and then if they have any questions or they have anything about the wedding, please text me or please email me. There's a paper trail. They can't say, well, I told you this. Oh, you did? Hang on one second. Oh, here it is in your text message. You didn't say that. This is what you said, and that's what I'm doing for you. Oh, I meant to tell you. Meant to tell you and what you told me are two different things,
I'm telling you, you gotta change that phone call workflow.
Well, no, that's text messaging.
No, still you gotta change it. I'm telling you, it works. Until my the guy that was my DJ coach for the last week in December, and he point out different things and the way that I'll follow up. If you do it, a lot of that would be alleviated. You'll get rid of it, eliminate it. Because what you're doing, I'm not trying to do, when I do a phone call, when I say a short phone call, I'm not trying to get on and get off, because if you get on and get off, you're going to miss those details. And then you have to do an extra phone call. My thing is, I should be able to close the deal, or at least do that first conversation within 15 minutes. Trying to shoot for 10.
Yeah,
because if I go more than 10, 9 times out of 10, it's not because the client is doing a lot of talking. It's because I'm doing a lot of talking. So I try to close that deal between 10 to 15 minutes. And the whole thing is to let them talk. But then after you let them talk, you then talk about the services that you do or your expertise. And then when you do that, you basically just restating what they said. So therefore, I'm taking notes, and I made a Sidekick app because I need a cheater. Go to my website. I can show you real quick. Did I do it? Nope. I put it up here.
Well, that's like that wedding come up in June. When they proposed all the stuff that they wanted to do, the toilet paper game, the shoe game, I said, please, out of years of experience, you're killing your whole day.
Mm-hmm.
Go to YouTube. If you don't believe me, go to YouTube and type in all these different games at weddings and see what really happens. Even when they ask me for karaoke at a wedding, Go look at the video on YouTube of karaoke at a wedding. 9 times out of 10, that ruins a wedding.
All right, because this is why I use when I was practicing my sales pitch. I don't read it word for word anymore because I got used to the flow.
Yeah.
But let me do this. 'Cause I don't want y'all to see actually, I think y'all might still see it. Let me see if I can blow it up so I don't see it, so y'all don't hack into my thing. Let me see if I can make this, see if I can hide this.
Now, see, Will's lucky in one perspective. He's working for a multi-op, so the multi-op's doing all that behind the scenes stuff. Correct, Will?
With one, yes. The other one, I'm actually consultating with
That's
the
right.
bride and groom. So, which is good because it gives me a little bit of practice because I don't usually do it. So now it's when I'm getting back into it. Before, when I lived in Jersey, I did all my consultations because there's more Hispanic like communities in Jersey, and there's more the population. There's a lot of population in Jersey, and it's concentrated where I used to live. So I used to get more gigs, especially restaurant gigs and small gigs and stuff. That's all I did. But then I joined the multi-op in Jersey. I learned how to do weddings, and then after that, I just started doing weddings. And then when I moved to PA, I was ready to go. I'm like, I'm pretty much not an expert on weddings, but you can flow through a wedding without flaws, without mistakes, and you're good to go. Because that's the one thing you don't want is mistakes, especially on
Now,
somebody's
one,
special day.
one wedding I did, I met with the couple one time. It was the week before the wedding. They did not inform me and the bride and groom. I'm the only one that spoke English completely, but the bride and groom were bilingual.
Hmm.
Everybody else at the wedding, all the guests, only spoke one language, Spanish. I mean, I wish they would have told me that.
That would have
Because,
been nice to know.
yeah, people are come up and requesting songs. And I'm looking at them. I'm like, no comprende. I said, could you write it down? Oh, yeah. And they wrote it down. Only thing is, they wrote it in Spanish. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do I do here? Like, oh my God, please help me. So I went up to the bride and the groom and I said, I'm getting a bunch of requests, but I do not understand what they're writing down. And I don't understand them because everything's in Spanish. So they asked me to stop the music. The bride got on the microphone and she told all their guests if they have any request, please come see the groom or herself. But then one guest did come, Mario, and we became friends. I mean, he's from the Bronx, New York. And then the wedding ended by 12:30. I had a friend's request from him, and we've been friends since then. It's 12 years ago, and it just a great guy. He was bilingual, and he broke the ice. He was out there dancing like you wouldn't believe. But at least again, I had the bride, the groom, and I had him. That if somebody had to give me a request, they could go to the bride, go to the groom, or go to this gentleman. And they'd come up to me and say, okay, Mike, this is what they want to hear. And it was all English music that they wanted to hear. But again, they were writing it down in Spanish, so it's different.
Yep. So what I was going to say with this this app that I did, it helps me to be able to, while they're talking, at the same time that it's recording, and doing the AI outline, I'm typing down different answers for them, for the couple. So after they get finished talking, because they ask questions like, what is your vision? What do you want to see from your DJ? The last wedding you went to, or what was the best wedding you ever went to? What were some of the qualities? What were some of the things that you saw that you didn't like? So it's like I have a whole bunch of questions I asked them, and while they're talking, I'm just doing like shorthand. I'm not trying to type the whole sentence out. I'm just putting down little details that they put.
Yeah.
And what I have created this app to do is, after they get finished talking, when it's time for me to do my spiel of how I run things, it automatically takes the key points, because I have AI built into it. It takes the key points that they said and what I put down, and then it link it to, it already know my background. It links it to how I can just basically repeat what they just told me, what they wanted, what they didn't want, and so I can reassure them and show them that I'm the expert that can handle what their vision is. So with that, when I go into my prices, all that information is also calculated, and it brings me and suggests a good price and why. So if they want to have a breakdown of at least for each line item is there, but also it's more so to say to give them a price and tell them again, reaffirm that package is the best package to fit their vision and the experience that they're looking for. So that's where I also click in the different add-ons that they want, and then everything is calculated right there. So it's all about trying to show them, trying to listen to them, and then show them how your services and expertise can fit into their vision. So if everything lines up and if you listen and do that well, when it comes down to quoting your price, you won't get that much kickback.
Exactly.
If you do everything right and you follow that workflow, once you get to that point, they won't have any kickback. And if they have doubts, then you just go down the next list. Well, ask them what is holding them back from, pulling the trigger. And if they need time to think about it, okay, fine. But then you always end your consultation with the next steps. So your next step, so they'll know what to expect next. It either could be a follow-up email, or you could say, a couple of days later, if they don't book, then you say, let me give you a chance to think about it. And then a couple of days later, we'll revisit. So let's try to do another phone call, or if they like the price, then that's when you send out your proposal.
Contract.
Yeah. So
now we got to remember one thing. We've been doing this for how many years now? These couples coming to us that may or may not want to book us, they're looking for our expertise advice. If we can't give them a little bit of advice, like this couple that came to me and they wanted to have all these different, like the shoe game, the toilet paper game, this, and then they're throwing a bouquet, throwing the garter. She wanted to dance with her dad. She wanted to dance with her stepdad. He was dancing with his mom, his stepmom. I mean, all that takes time, and I tried to explain that to them. So they're looking for my expertise, advice on that. And I said,
this the first? Because I thought we were talking about the initial phone consultation.
This was after the initial. The initial was like, okay. They gave me the venue name. They told me the time. I said, okay. I'll get back to you tomorrow. I'll make sure I'm open. Got back to me the next day. Boom. Yep, we want to book it. Can we meet you? They asked me if they can meet me. I'm like, sure, no problem. I'll meet you. What day's good for you? What time's good for you? We met them. They gave me my retainer fee. That was it. And that's when they started piling all this other stuff on. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, And not only that, it's a 4-hour wedding. So they're not having no cocktail hour, so which is good. So you have dinner hour and 3 hours. But in that 3 hours, you got cake cutting, the Polish bridal dance, throwing the bouquet, throwing the garter, dancing with mom, stepmom, dad, stepdad. I mean, you're taking up so much time.
But I'm not again, because I'm lost again. Are you talking about, did they book you already?
Oh yeah, they booked me already. But they were looking for my expert advice. Like, I mean,
no, because see, that's where we got off last week.
Yeah,
it's like you're talking about after you get booked. We were talking about leading up to the booking. So it was the marketing approach to get leads and then close the leads. So you're talking about a whole. That's a whole different.
Yeah, I'm after that. I mean, to get, I'm quiet when I get on the phone with the couples. I
Because
just, like I said,
I just
wanna
don't
know.
want people to hear this, and then it goes back to what we were saying, where you're giving too much information too
Yeah, no,
soon, and that's why you get ghosting. So I just want to make sure
yeah.
people that's trying to figure this out, how to do the sales and how to close your leads, that they're not hearing all this extra stuff, and then they go into that long spiel, and then
The,
they
the only
messing up the
information I give the couple that
booking.
call me, I give them, the only information I give them is please give me the info for the venue, the time, the location. That's it, you know, and then I will get back to you tomorrow if I'm open or not. You know, either way, if I'm not open, I call them back and say, I'm sorry, I'm not open that day. If you're still looking for another DJ, I have somebody in mind. DJ Will, you know.
Yeah, I'm still saying that right there. You don't want to do no multi kind of phone calls like that, because you'll definitely get ghosted.
Well,
And you want to
they'll
try?
ask
Huh?
me.
Go ahead.
They asked me, you know, I mean, I had couples ask me that, you know, do you have a DJ that is good? Because they did contact other DJs in the area. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, I passed a couple gigs to Will. And I know if it comes down to brass tacks, I could pass him anything. I know he's going to do the job 100%. It's just when they ask me, that's when I tell them. If they don't ask me, they're on their merry way. That's it, you know?
Okay, let's get back to the chat, because I say hi to Buddy. I know Buddy came in.
Hey, buddy. I'm going with my glasses. I can't wait to get my new glasses.
And
Will, you're so
so
quiet there, bud.
DJ DJ Troll said there should only be one phone call. Yeah, I usually do more. Well, one call is, yeah. Oh no, he's talking about, yeah, one call for that, trying to book them, because you want to try to do that. You don't want to give them like multiple calls. You want to try to answer everything right in that phone call, because that's the whole purpose of doing the phone call.
How many hours are weddings down in his area? I mean, I know all over the United States there are different hours. Brian S. Red, he says his weddings are 6-7 hours long. The receptions here, they can be 3, 4, or 5. Maximum is 5 hours. You know, and a lot of times it doesn't even go to 5 hours. It's 4.5 hours. That's it, Mike. All right, kill it, because 90% of the guests left already.
Yeah.
It's just.
And then
So,
Buddy's, because Buddy,
his 6 hours.
and then Buddy said we would do another meeting a month before the wedding. That is
Yes,
a
I like
walkthrough.
that.
Yep, I'll do that.
Yep.
And then, yeah, because that's what Troll is saying also. He said you're setting up roadblocks for yourself. Your whole process complicates everything. Yeah, because you want, and that's the other thing. Set clear expectations, and then also make sure your pricing and everything is clear. Because if you, if they walk away and they have to think, and your pricing and your service is not clear to them, then they're going to start thinking about going to the next person that they probably already reached out to.
The first call to me is, like I said, venue, time, and what service do you need? Do you need my ceremony and DJ services, ceremony and reception, or just reception? That is my first phone call with them. That's it. I will check my date if I'm open that day. If I'm booked, like I said, I will still call them back either or. I'm open that date. They say, okay, what's your price? Now, by this time, since they gave me all that information, I can have a price together for them, you know? And then when we go meet, that honestly, like I said, that this area it's a small area. It's from here to Hazelton's 20 miles. From here to Scranton's 12 miles. So if I have to go towards the Hazelton area, I'm traveling 10 miles. They're traveling 10 miles. If I have to go to Scranton, they're traveling 6. I'm traveling 6. That's the furthest I have to go. For weddings, 20 minutes to a half hour at the maximum. That's the first actual sit down. That's when I give them my contract. and they start going through everything, and they're like, "Oh, you have uplights, you have this, you have that." That's when we start talking. If they want to add those things on, then I do them. But the first thing is you have to be. You don't want to be blunt. You don't want to be like it seem like you're just going to be boom, 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 and I'm off the phone with them. No, you got to talk to them a little bit, but you have to set precedents. You have to know the hours, definitely the location, the venue's name. But as soon as you hear the venue's name, you know where it's going to be. You know the town it's going to be in, and how many hours. And basically, do you need me for the ceremony and reception, or just ceremony, or just reception, or just ceremony? So they'll tell you, like you say, hey, do you need me for ceremony and reception? They may say, oh no, we only need you for reception. We're having the wedding somewhere else. Okay, fine. Oh no, yeah, we do need you for the ceremony and reception. If they say that, that's when I come back with a second question. I'll say, okay, is your ceremony on site in the same room? If they say yes, boom. Okay, I know that. That's already in my head what my price is going to be for that. I don't tell them the price, but already my head is working to give them what price I'm going to be giving them.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, your
I
phone
have no
calls and
packages.
consultations can be a whole lot better if you put this system, and maybe we'll talk about this system, or maybe I can reach out to Tom, because it's kind of like the same sales pitch that he also talked to us about, and he can go through it. Because again, if you follow this order, you do your banter, your small talk, and then after your hello, how are you, how is your wedding planning going, and all that kind of little small talk. Then you go into your phone call expectations. So you telling them how you do your phone calls, and then if they understand how everything is going to go, then you can lead into asking them about what they vision, or what kind of vibe or experience they want. And then once you get past that one, then you can go into your logistics. Do you need a reception, ceremony, and all that kind of stuff? And some of that will probably be answered in your first section of your sales call. And then then everything falls into place. Yeah, because it seems like
it's.
Go ahead.
You can't. I've seen DJs give a price that first initial phone call.
You can do it if you set it up right. That's what you want, because
Well,
you want to try to close it.
You want to close it, but 9 times out of 10, they call me and I need a price on a wedding. Here's the date. And it's like, well, what do you say? I need to know the location. I need to know what type of service do you need? Do you need just the reception?
All right, I'm just going to cut you off real quick, because you know what just happened? When they call you, who should be leading and taking charge of the phone consultation?
Me.
So, but did you just take control, or did you let them take control?
No, I take control. That's when I stopped them. I said, listen, I need to know the location, the time. Do you need me for ceremony and reception? What do you need? I can't just give you a price. Well, why not? Because of what I just told you. I need to know the location, what's the venue's name, and how many hours, and ceremony and reception. I'm not going to, they want to dictate to me that they just need a price. And it's like, I cannot just give you a price. It's like you go from one car dealership to another car dealership. You're buying a Chevy. Well, this car dealership is $17,000, but this car dealership is only $15,000. Why is he cheaper than this one? And they said that I had this one mom call me for the son's wedding, and she just wanted a price. And I said, I need some logistics from you before I could give you a price. Okay, I'll get back to you. She never got back to me. I can't just say, all right, it's a 4-hour wedding. Here's your price. No, I can't do that.
Because you don't have a system in place. I'm telling you. If you do this,
well, I always ask them.
You wouldn't have people do that to you, because at that point, if they just need a price, you could have walked them through, but you pretty much closed the deal when, without even talking to them?
Well, there's people I know I could talk to and say, okay, hey, listen, I could do this for you, this for you, this for you, this for you, this for you. This lady was just rude and abrupt. She just wanted, no matter what I told her I could have drove to her house and picked her up and picked up the bride and groom and did all this stuff for them. I could have hired the limousine service for them and everything. She didn't care. She just wanted a price. That's it. She didn't want to hear anything I had to say. She wanted a price. That's it.
And then you just give them, I start at this price and I can go anywhere to up to here. This is, and it depends on what kind of experience or needs you need.
But
and
she is a person that's very, very wealthy, and she treats everybody this way. She's just, I don't care if she's going out to buy a hamburger at not like a McDonald's or anything like that. She could be going to get a specialty hamburger. I want it cheaper. This is our price. That's on, then you want list to me and everything else on it. Then it's going to go up in price, so, but she's very blunt. And I knew this when she called, and I was waiting for her to call. She didn't care what I had to say. She just wanted a price right then and there.
then
And I didn't have nothing.
But see, that's why you should have like a website or pricing on something. So therefore you don't have to worry about that. The price is up there on the board. This is the price. So therefore you don't get those kind of phone calls.
Well, I don't mind the phone calls like that because, again, I get to talk to them. And the thing is, 94% call me are very inquisitive. When I ask them, I need to know the venue's name, this, that. Oh, okay, Mike. And then they'll lead into that. But then you got just that handful that they just want a price. That's it. Well, we called 4 other DJs already, and they start anywhere from $900 up to $5,000. Well, yeah, every DJ is different.
Yeah.
Well, we talked to this DJ. He was only charging $900, but then we called this other DJ. He was $4,500. Okay, what do you want me to tell you?
Tell you how
can't
your services is going to benefit them.
Yeah, I can't honor that DJ's price. Or I love when they call you and say, well, I talked to this DJ and you gave me a price. Now, but this DJ I talked to after I talked to you is $500 cheaper. Can you match his price? No. No, you talked to me already. I gave you my price. Now you want me to match some other DJ's price? No, there's no possible way,
Yeah. It goes back to, do you want to pay for a peace of mind? It's like, how involved do you want me to be? So do you want somebody to be able to run the timeline, not control the timeline, but make a timeline for you? A lot of the couples are reaching out because this is their first time getting married. They have no idea what to do, so they need someone to be able to guide them. So I'm like, do you want somebody to be able to guide you, set your night up, give you the vibe that you want, or do you want the budget DJ where you don't know what you're going to get? So that's where you start to sell yourself, and that's where you start to separate yourself from the other DJs. So that's where it goes back to all about marketing, and that's where the whole first hour was about. Is it our client, or I shouldn't say clientele, is it our demographics or city, the size of the city that's the issue, or is it our mindset, the bigger business mindset, or do we have a small business mindset? That's what the whole thing was about.
I'll tell you, I DJ'd a wedding for a couple. He was a federal agent, then he became a federal prison guard, and now
and this is going to be the last one because we got to move on because that's how we ended up on this show tonight.
This guy had everything right down to the T. I started off the same conversation like we did. Time, location, this. Okay, here it is. He gave me everything. I said, okay, I'll contact you back tomorrow. I'll give you the price. I want to meet with you. I said, okay, I'll meet with you. So I met with them right down the street, not even a quarter mile away from my house. Sat down, talked to him. He said, "All right, what's your price?" Gave him my price. I said, "It's $2,800." Perfect. I said, "Okay." He said, "How long do we have dancing for at a 5-hour wedding?" I said, "An hour and 40 minutes." Hang on one second. Boom. He got his phone, pulled up 4 YouTube videos. He said, "You hit it dead nuts right on the head." He said, "An hour and 40 minutes. That's if everything goes right." I'm like, this guy did all his homework. I mean, he was one step ahead, tried to be one step ahead of me, but I was ahead of him, you know?
Yeah, y'all are different over there. It's like let's move on, because that's why we
Yeah.
didn't get to our what we were supposed to talk about last week. Keep going back and forth. But my whole thing is, the thing is, when you reach out to a client to have that phone call, you don't want to try to have multiple phone calls to never get to your pricing and the contract, because if you do that, then you're gonna mess around and somebody's gonna come in and have that stuff together and take that gig right from under you. So it's best to try to make sure you have a workflow, your phone calls workflow in order, and just run it from straight to the bottom. And if you have everything, if you ask the questions at the beginning that they want to hear, and you can show value of the services that you offer, then closing becomes super easy. And that's the one thing I've learned, and I'm starting to get there, that last year I didn't know, I didn't have all that together. So I heard it, but I didn't internalize it until someone showed me how to do it. I started practicing it. Then I started implementing it, and it actually worked. And I was like, the light bulb went off, and it actually worked. You have to have your workflow and everything set before you do a phone call. And if you need a checklist, make sure you have the checklist so you can check off and make sure you answer all the important questions, and then take notes and be able to reinforce whatever that person is saying.
If I'm correct, I did last year, I think it was either 22 or 25 weddings. The year before was more the most I did was that first year right after COVID, and like the years prior to COVID, but right after COVID, that first year was like crazy nuts, you know? It was unbelievable.
Yep.
It was like I was doing 3 weddings a month.
Yep.
Not
So
more.
sales calls popped up. So we were already talking about sales calls, so we can move on to the next one. And then I'll get to the chat to see what they're chatting about.
See, I can't see. I can't wait for my new glasses this coming Monday.
So our business philosophy, because that's the biggest one, and that's the one that we kind of like got into it right now. See, let's see, because I took notes of what was said that kind of like business philosophy. Oh, is when you had said, do what works where you are, and then you said something about if it's not broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix
whatever.
it. Yeah.
Yep. So I think the business philosophy for me is it goes back to where it was just word of mouth, and I'll get back to the poll. Word of mouth is cool. That's if you have a fan base, but if you're starting out, word of mouth shouldn't be your only means of promoting yourself.
Exactly. Yes, I agree with you there 1,000%. You definitely need a website. You need a Facebook page. You need an Instagram page. Once you get yourself established, that's when you start getting more word of mouth than anything. And Google. I said I did a couple's wedding from Hawaii, Allentown, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I mean, how did you find me? Google. I would say, oh, okay, you know.
And so my business philosophy is it's like what I said earlier. Everybody say how big of a market Cleveland is and the pricing and all that can be there. But at the same time, if you're in a big market, there's also, with technology now, there will be a whole bunch of DJs. So you can find yourself getting into a position where you're racing to be the cheapest DJ just to get booked. Sometimes, or you might be in a small market and then you don't have the high end gigs, or you can't. It's hard to find gigs within your area, so therefore you might have to step outside your area and go somewhere else to get those gigs that you're looking for. So that goes back to those that wasn't here the first hour that I was saying that all my weddings except for 2 has been like a good 90 minutes away from my house, or 2 hours, or a 2 hour and 30-minute drive. So I've never did a wedding in Cleveland. So it's always been out, and I never only did one wedding of someone that's the same ethnicity. I only did one black person wedding. I put it that way. I could say that easy.
There's no color, man.
So it's like,
I don't believe in that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so but my point is that sometimes you have to step outside your comfort zone. Because in order for me to get into the wedding arena, I had to DJ for people that was different than me, or even a different, like the different language. Like I did a Latin wedding before, I did a Polish wedding before. So my whole point is sometimes you might have to go outside of your area
Comfort
to
zone.
get gigs, and sometimes I do know this. It seemed like when you seem like the people, your own inner circle, should appreciate you, but you seem like you get appreciated more from strangers than outside people.
Yes. Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. It seems like once you get out of your area, like I said, I did that couple's wedding from Allentown. They couldn't be more appreciative. Tell a couple around here the price, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, why are you charging that price?" It's like, well, it's my price. End of story. I'm not going to explain why I'm charging that price. It's my price. That's it. End of story. I mean, you're traveling a long distance for a wedding. If I had to travel 2.5 hours to go do a wedding, my price would probably be more than double of what it is right now. There's no possible way I'm driving 2.5 hours, DJing for 5, and driving 2.5 hours back. I mean, that's 7.5. That's 10 hours there. An hour setup, an hour breakdown. No, because I'm by myself. Well, my son. It's just the 2 of us. I mean, then you have that 2.5 hour ride back, and then you got to unpack the vehicle. You got to pack the vehicle. I mean, that's a 16-hour day.
But see, it goes back to what I was saying. You got to price yourself right. I'd rather go and drive 2.5 hours once in every blue moon and get a lot of money, as opposed to every weekend packing and loading my car, going to a gig, and only get a fraction of that. And it takes like 4 or 5 gigs to equal that one big, huge wedding.
1 gig. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If I had to go 2.5 hours out of my way to do a wedding, my price would be more than double what it is now for just local weddings around here. And when I give people my price around here, my price for a wedding, they're shocked that I'm in a mid-range DJ. Like I told you in the beginning that I looked on Wedding Wire and it starts, Will knows the one multi-op, they're saying they start at $999, and then you get these single ops, they're at $3,500. And it's like, well, I'm not $999, but I'm not $3,500 starting price. My starting price is $2,500. Then it could go up or it could go down a little bit, depending. But if you want add-ons, it's going to go up.
But then again,
but I'm only
that
traveling.
Person that's charging all that money, they see themselves as a luxury DJ. So so it wouldn't make sense if you're doing $3,500 weddings, it wouldn't make sense for them to go $1,000, because that's you sending 2 different messages. Because that's the one thing that I was trying to do the pricing to put on my website. It was like, if you want to be seen at this tier of DJ, you gotta be careful, the price, make sure your price is fitting that range, because you don't want to be dropping too low, because then it's going to confuse people. Is he really this tier DJ, or is he really this low level DJ? So if you don't want to even be like compared to this DJ over here, don't even put your price points nowhere near that area over here.
Before I even look at anybody's prices on Wedding Wire, I looked at how many years of experience. The one person that was 3,900, this is his second year of being a DJ. And he's a single out. I'm like, this is your second year of DJing?
That don't mean anything though. That really don't mean anything.
Oh yeah, years of experience.
No, it don't. Because I started my business in 2014. I wasn't DJing in 2014. 2014 is when I actually wanted to go out and deal with doing contracts with people. So that doesn't, so me putting that on my Wedding Wire doesn't correlate the number of years that I actually been DJing. So you really can't go there. To me, on Wedding Wire, what really matters the most is your Google reviews. That is the key thing right there, because you can put whatever on your website, but if you have those reviews that's been verified and everything, that's worth more than whatever you have on your reviews, because then it justifies your price.
If I'm a couple, I'm looking for a DJ, and I see this guy $3,900. Now look, this is only going into the second year of experience as a wedding DJ. It makes you question, how good is he really?
But at the same time, it goes back to what Jay said on when I was in the chill room. He was like, just because you did let's say 15, 20, 30 years of DJing, that doesn't mean that you did it for that number of years doing it right. You could have been doing it wrong the whole time.
Yeah. I would rather see people, I'd rather word of mouth referral, because they know what they're getting then. They're not looking at my Facebook page. They're not looking at my website. They're not looking at Instagram, because we could correct all our mistakes and make everything look beautiful.
That's the whole point. Why would you put crappy stuff online?
No. I wouldn't put crappy stuff online, but then they book you and something goes wrong, and it's like, uh-oh. Then next thing you know, they're pointing a finger at you. Like what happened with Will, they went back to the owner of the multi-op, and then Will got the crappy end of the stick because he forgot to pass out a couple little things. We're human. We make mistakes.
But that's passing. But that's you're mixing two stories up. First of all, if you have a lot of people giving you referrals, and it's through word of mouth, then your websites and your social media should be able to also verify what they're saying. So it shouldn't be that big of a drop off.
Well, yeah, it shouldn't be, but for some people it could be. I mean, it's like you go out trout fishing. You caught a trout this big. You tell somebody it's this big. By the time that story comes back to you, that trout is 24 inches long.
But if you have social proof, that the trout would be as big. It would always be that big. Not unless you're doing AI. But it will still be.
But in today's world, you can. That's what I'm saying. There's DJs out there that do create everything that what they're not really are. You and I know, Will know, Troll know. I mean, Buddy, no, we're creating stuff that we want to put out there, and we want our clientele to see what we're really about. But then there's DJs out there that are putting stuff out there that's not really them.
But see, and this is one thing I want to warn all the DJs, because this is something that I'm seeing now. A lot of brides, especially on Facebook, when they put something out in search of a DJ or whatever, they're asking for people to give them recommendations. They don't want DJs to say, I'll help you out. They want recommendations and a website.
Yes.
So they can see social proof. Another thing that I've noticed that people have been doing to me lately is asking me to again show my mixing. They want to see me actually mix, or they might say, "We like because I'm gonna do this for this guy." He said, "Well, because he's doing like he's French, so he's doing like this Afrocentric kind of. He wants an Afrocentric Latin kind of vibe." So he said, "Here's a playlist of the kind of music that we like." So what I'm gonna do is go and do a a quick mix of some of the stuff that he has on his playlist. So therefore, I'm showing him that I can take his playlist, flip it, and make everything work. So they looking for social proof. If not, they're looking for proof because again, people can spam, people can put out fake information, all that stuff. So now you have content is king. And you have to be able to show value in your worth, and you have to be able to back that up with receipts.
I know I told you this story before. This was prior to COVID. This bride called me up. She wanted for her wedding. Mom is paying. Gave her a price. Mom said, I talked to DJ. He was $650. Can you do it for $650? I said, I will not take my equipment out for $650. She goes, you will not match his price? I said, no, I'm sorry, I will not match his price. Ran into the bride and groom, the couple a few weeks after their wedding, and they said, oh, our wedding was a disaster. I said, what do you mean? This guy had a beautiful website. This guy had a beautiful Facebook page, people dancing, all the stuff, all the lights and everything. Perfect. Well, he showed up at the venue, and it's a venue that I DJ at a lot. And the manager was even shocked. The guy strolls in with a Panasonic home stereo system. The mother goes up to him and says, where's all that equipment that's on your Facebook page, on your YouTube channel? He looked at it, he goes, honey, he said, that's all clip art from the internet. You booked me.
Did any, in any of those pictures, did he actually stand behind the equipment?
I don't know. I don't know because I don't even know that.
Because that goes right back to people need to do their homework.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you're good at Photoshop, you could Photoshop yourself right in there, no problem.
You can also look at BS too, because it'll be something off. It'll look just like something was been
the shadows, everything. I mean, I'm very good at Photoshop, but the thing is, this lady took his Facebook page, his Instagram, his website, everything, just because he had all this beautiful equipment there, and people are dancing. And then when he rolls in with a Panasonic home stereo system, she's like that, and he had 2 lights from Spencer's. That was it. They're sitting on his table. She's like, "Where's all the lights that you had on your Facebook page and on your website?" He said, honey, that's all clip art. And he wanted to get paid 30 days prior to the event. So he had the $650 in his pocket. He didn't care.
Yeah, but at the same time, I bet you have a BS website too. I bet you it looked like it was cookie cutter.
Everything about him, from what the bride was telling me, it was all cookie cutter. Everything was a bunch of baloney.
Then that was her fault for hiring them, because a lot of that would be telltale. There's telltale signs right there. And then again, that's why Google reviews are important, because that's the other thing they're going to look at. If you don't have any reviews and all that stuff, it doesn't matter what your website and stuff look like, because everybody's hip to all the scams and stuff that's going on.
Some people, no matter what you have, some people just want the cheapest price. Like this lady she wanted the cheapest price, but she wanted the best. She looked at his website. She didn't look to see if it was cookie cutter or anything. She just looked at it, seen all these lights and this and that, and boom, she booked them.
Mm-hmm. So I was going to say, because I'm getting distracted because I see the chat going up, so I want to get to him. But I'm getting ready. It goes back to our initial thing. See, if he's getting booked on what he had posted or have on his website, that goes back to marketing. That means he's a good marketer. If he can get booked on
yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
that's why marketing is key in how you do it. It makes
Yeah.
it makes it
was-
easier for when people reach out to you to book you.
Yeah. I seen trolls. Yeah, troll. I know 650. That should be the first sign, but around the area I live in, it's a depressed area, and a lot of people they want the cheapest price possible. Then there's the people that want the quality, and they don't mind spending the money for a quality DJ and a professional DJ.
So it goes back to what kind of clients you want. Do you want the
I think it also has to do with the location. As soon as they tell you the location, you can kind of tell the price point that these people are looking for.
The where they had it, it's a nice venue, a very nice venue, and I've DJ there. Oh my God, I can't remember how many times I've DJ there. And the owner I know personally. And she said, Mike, she was the bride and groom knew me too. The bride and groom wanted me, but the mother didn't want to pay the price. And she took the guy for 650. But like Will said, it's definitely the first thing you could tell as a DJ, they call you up and they say, okay, what is that? So-and-so fire hall.
Or VFW.
Yeah, or VFW or American Legion.
You can tell they're looking for a $500 DJ.
Yes.
So again, it goes
They're
back
like,
to
oh, it's at the Marriott or it's at the Stroudsmore or something like that. You're like, all right, then I could charge
Pocono Manor.
accordingly.
I mean, Glenmora. There's a lot of really
Right.
rich places around here.
That's
So-
when you start off at 1,500, and then you're like,
so
because if you
goes-
put it
that
too
goes
low
back-
for these
that
people, then
goes-
you scare them.
and that goes right back to what I was saying. So what do
Mhm.
you want to be? Do you want to be the budget DJ, or do you want to be that mid-tier DJ, or do you want to be the high-end DJ? Because I'd rather price at a point and work less, as opposed to just taking just jobs just to be taking it, and then I'm showing up, I'm going all up and down the stairs, I'm putting in more work, and at the end of the gig, I'm feeling like this wasn't even worth my time. So I'd rather go at a certain price and stick to that price point. If I see that it's pulling a certain, a certain kind of client, I wouldn't even bother giving that client my time of day, because they can't afford what I'm going to bring to the table, or worth my time even going out the house. It goes right back to what we said on the round table. You have to know what it costs you to go and do the gig. Is it worth your time going there? If it's not worth your time doing it, then why even go out? So let me get back to the chat so we can wrap this up, so we can get to our third, because there was a couple of good comments. And I see James King had made it over.
Hey, James, what's happening, man?
What's up, James?
Yep, and you missed this episode last night. Go check that out.
I
We
was
had
there.
Brian S. Red on this show.
I
was
saw
there.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Will was there.
Yep. Yeah, I saw y'all. But we did it first. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that AJ song.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah. Because when he said it, I was like, oh, I know Shay left. I wonder, did Diego stay on the show when he came? Because Brian was late coming.
Diego was still there. And
Yep.
matter of fact, I did put a comment, and I said, well, we had Brian R. cue it up first.
Mhm. All right,
Then
so
Buddy had him second. And then
yep. And see, let's start with Troll. Our prices are on our site. When they're contacting us, they have already seen our price and what we bring to the table. Yep, that's what I was saying. That means that they are looking to move forward and book. Don't complicate it. That's exactly why that's exactly what I said. And then Kevin said marketing was Facebook versus having a website. I'm saying you should have both, but to me, having a website with your official name or something up there makes it look more official.
A lot of video footage, YouTube, a lot of everything video.
Mm-hmm.
you got to watch your YouTube. You got to talk over it so you don't get flagged or anything like that. So
I'd rather there's certain videos I know it won't get monetized. My main concern is when just getting blocked in the United States.
yeah,
If it's
Oh,
blocked
this
in,
is a message. This is a message to all you guys that want to start doing sessions on YouTube. I've been doing sessions now for the last year on YouTube. They will not block you on the USA. The only place that they'll block you is possibly like Russia and stuff like
yeah.
that. That's when I get blocked. I do a complete session on YouTube. I do a recording on OBS, and I do a full recording, and I put it on there. They'll block me like in Russia and stuff like that, but I haven't gotten anything like in the US or anything. So you can do sessions in the US. You're just not gonna get paid for it.
yeah,
They're gonna
no,
they're gonna they're not gonna pay you, but you
Yeah.
still it's not gonna get blocked.
no,
Yeah.
that's not totally true. The best thing is to do is upload the audio and then make sure it's not blocked because I know for
You can do
sure
that.
Cassie, with Diddy and all them, me and you, that's blocked in the United States. There's another one. It's
Okay, so what you do is you make a second YouTube account just for testing the music. Upload the mix on the second account, let it filter it through it, and if there's any kind of blocked ones that will not let you play in the US, then you're gonna have to remove it from. You're gonna have to do the mix over again and remove it from your mix.
Yeah,
I
actually, you
got
don't even
flagged
need a
one
second
time.
account. You just upload it to your account and keep it
That's true.
unlisted because
Unlisted.
I got
they're gonna
flagged the
check
one
it
time.
anyway.
I got flagged the one time, right, Dwayne? This is when my oldest cats, they're 12 or 13 years old now. They were playing on the floor, and here there was a commercial on TV. Could just barely hear it, and boom, YouTube flagged me. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, that was it. I had to take the video down. I'm like, this is crazy.
Most of the stuff I play is remixes anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah.
mess with me.
But if you're doing like that's, I know you have to get a whole bunch of views in order to get something of substance because it's a fraction of a penny for every view. So to me, why are you posting your mix in the first place? So are you posting just to get a few dollars from YouTube, or are you
No,
posting it to try to get clientele that's going to pay you way more? So that's
no, what I'm
that's
doing is it's basically for somebody that wants to see me mixing or wants to hear, and it's also for myself. I do it for myself so I can listen to the music in the car.
Mm.
So, it's a little bit of both. It's for like right now this summer I want to do a couple of weddings where I record myself doing intros and stuff like that because that's what brides want to see. They want to see how you talk on the microphone. They want to see how you mix the music. So even though you might get blocked in like certain places and stuff, as long as you don't get blocked in the US and you have all those videos on YouTube, um, guess what? I mean, all you have to do is send them the link and it's all there. And if you have a website, you can send the link, set up a link on your website to all your YouTube videos and you're good to go. I mean, that's what I have on my website.
Yep. So that's what my point is. I do mixing videos just so people can actually see me mix and all that kind of stuff.
That's it.
So and then Kevin says, where he was asking you, where do you get your leads?
Me?
I guess he was asking all of us because he didn't specify.
Basically, word of mouth, Facebook, Google and word of mouth are probably my two biggest ones, and then Facebook follows in after that.
Mm-hmm. Most of mine, it depends on what type of gig it is. Again, if it's like the birthday parties or those the off private low end parties, that's through word of mouth. But then my weddings either come from someone can't do it and then refer me to them, or if I'm an emergency DJ for that event, or Wedding Wire. And then when I was running Google Ads, that seemed like I had a spike in inquiries. And then I think the last couple of things I got was from Yelp.
again, you're going anywhere from 90 minutes to 2.5 hours away from your home. Here it's word of mouth because it's 6 miles one way, or 12 miles one way, or 20 miles the other way. So I mean, that's that's my locality, or two barns and they're 22 miles away. So I mean, I'm not traveling far. I'm traveling 30 minutes tops. That's it. So that's where the word of mouth comes in more around here over over Facebook or a website, because it's just such a condensed area. People say, hey, get DJ Mikey Mike, or get DJ Kevin, or get DJ whoever. 'Cause
They'll call up the account and be like, "Hi, my name is so and so. I just was at a wedding this Saturday. Can you tell me who the DJ was? Do you have his number?" And that'll happen a lot.
yeah, yep, yep.
All right. And then let's see, go down. Let's see, go down.
James, we streamed probably about an hour and a half to 4 hours.
No, but see,
about 3 hours. That's
only reason we going 3 hours because it's one of those things where we used to do 2 or 1.5.
So
but it's one of those things. Once we start promoting like start to spin, it's almost like from 9 to 10. It's almost like a warm up. So basically, we only do 2 hours because we waiting for everybody to come over from start to spin, and then that's when it seems like everything picks up. So that's why it's going to 3.
You know what I've been doing lately? I've been putting on YouTube live wedding set, and I've been looking a lot of, because I don't have time to actually physically go to weddings and see DJs. So what I do is I just watch it on YouTube. I watch the whole set. I see what they use, how they mixing, what they're doing. Is it Jason Jeni? Did a couple of them. Bun, right? Bun.
Bun just did one.
Joe Bun, is it?
And that was fun. It's funny when I was watching him. I was like, had to give him the side eye. I'm like, I can do what he's doing. I'm like, that's why I upped my price. I was like, I'm not doing.
I was gonna say
anymore.
something to you, Dwayne. I was gonna say something to you about Joe Bun, but if you notice, he doesn't use specialized tracks with intros. He uses the regular one. So when he mixes, he has to do it quick. Like one to the other. He's got to do it quick. He doesn't leave it in there for a long period of time. And it is what it is. That's the way he mixes. But it's fine. He gets the job done.
Yeah,
but
that's
still,
what I'm saying. It's like that's why I had to up my price and start looking at myself as at a higher tier. Because I'm like, I'm looking at those guys. I'm like, I was expecting
I could do better than those guys.
A whole bunch of scratching and juggling and word play. I was expecting him to mix like the way I see his short form videos. All the extra stuff, the TikTok videos.
Yeah.
But he was just keeping it straight. I was like, I can do that. And the songs he was playing, they're like
nothing special.
Normal. Yeah, so I was
nothing
like,
special. Yeah.
So therefore, I'm not like putting him down or hating on him. I'm like,
no, you know what he might be? He might be really good at the mic. He's good on the mic.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. I look at those guys to see where I'm at. Am I doing this right, or where do I need to improve? So if I'm like seeing what he's doing, I'm like right there. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this right. So let's keep doing it and then try to up my game.
Right. Like I said, we got to get more footage of ourselves, because if we don't get footage of ourselves, nobody sees what we do. You know what I mean?
Learn to hit the record button.
Yeah, I got to bring 2 or 3 phones and set them up a different angle, and stuff like that, because
I'd rather just go get one of those 360s, the Insta 360s.
God, they're expensive though, man. They're like $500.
Yeah.
One thing I did, like, Will, you were saying you watch the YouTube videos on the introductions and stuff like that, and what I've noticed, basically all the DJs, you hear him or her introducing the couple, they don't hear no music, nothing, until the bride and groom are directly center on the dance floor. That's when the music goes on. It's like, wait a second, every wedding I do, I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, all right, raise your glasses, wave those towels around. Here comes Joe and Sandra and our bride and groom for this evening, our newlyweds for this evening. And the music's playing. But I noticed a lot of these big time DJs, the music, it may be on, but it is so low. You don't even hear it on their recording. It's like, what the hell? And I know they all use recorders coming off their mixers or their controllers. They all have a recorder because they'll all, a couple of Joe Bunn's videos, I think it was, he showed his recorder that he uses for his recording so you could hear the sound nice and clear. Okay, well, if you could hear the sound nice and clear for the rest of the wedding, why couldn't I hear the sound of that song when you did the introduction? It's because you didn't have the song on until that bride and groom got in the center of the dance floor. And then he had a cue point and just hit play.
Yeah.
Is
like, James
why
King,
would you...
James King still on the
it looked like he answered the last a few minutes ago.
He's I saw his intros. He did a really good job.
Yeah, he did.
I got to see him mix though, but me and him actually have something in common where I was also in band in high school.
Yeah, I heard that.
I played the drums. I was in the drum corps, and we kind of like have that similarity.
Those intros are great, James.
So I think you have pretty good ear. I gotta hear him mix. I don't think there's a video of him mixing yet.
No,
I think
he says he's gonna post one live.
I think he's on Posh DJs in Jersey. I might have one of his. I gotta listen to it, but yeah, he's got to post up a video of him doing a live set. That'll be interesting. Book is a really good DJ also. I've heard him live. Yeah, he's really good. Is it J Book?
Yeah,
J Book. Yep,
J Book. Jason Jeni is good mixing. Of course, we know Spinelli. But that's a different thing. That's a show.
I don't even get started with there.
Yeah, Spinelli's a show. He does a lot of the same mixes. Like he practices like those same mixes and stuff like that. I've noticed that. It's a show. He practices it. So that's what he does.
It's all about himself.
He's a good DJ. He's a good DJ. We're not gonna
too many quick mixes.
But they're not that quick though. If you look at his whole video, I mean, he plays almost like all the way to the middle. Some he does, some he doesn't. You got to watch him.
It depends. I think at the wedding, I mean, if it's like like an EDM night or just he wants to in and out. I mean, he's boom, boom, boom. I mean, he bragged about playing 600 songs at a wedding.
You know who's good also?
Hi Kev is really good.
Aaron Strong.
Yeah, Aaron Strong's good.
He's a good wedding DJ. Like doing intros and stuff like that. I was checking out his full gig log on his wedding. You know what? I'm gonna pick up a couple of nuggets from him for doing intros and stuff.
One nugget I picked up off of him. I'm going to a black T-shirt and black jeans and sneakers. That's it. I'm going comfortable.
And Solstice is a good DJ.
Oh, Solstice,
He's a good mixing DJ. He can mix.
He's underrated.
So when he comes to R&B and hip hop.
I haven't seen that, but he's good at everything else.
It's like
EDM, he's excellent at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I kind of suck at hip hop and rap too, so I can't say much.
The thing is, music isn't the same as it was 25, 30, 45, 50 years ago. Everything has changed so much. Everything is so analyzed now. You don't have to worry about it not being on beat. I mean, now they're reanalyzing songs like Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline. Oh, you got to go in, you got to fix it. Why fix a song like that? The song is phenomenal. But no, we'll got to get in there, you got to fix it. Make sure that the drop is dead on. Guess what? The drop wasn't dead on for Neil. Look how many millions of times that song has been played. Same thing with Don't Stop Believing. They don't say Don't Stop Believing until almost the end of the song. they sing the whole song, and then right towards the end, it's a "Don't Stop Believing." You know, it's like, wow, you know, like, and they were told that song will never be a success. Most downloaded song in history.
All right. And then going back to the chat, because from the corner of my eye, I see the chat is going. So I stopped at Buddy. Buddy said, we'll do another meeting a month before the wedding. And that is a walkthrough. Text is a good way to answer questions after a meeting. Yeah, a lot of my couples prefer the text. After I send the contract through through Honeybook. And then DJ Troll said games are great for weddings when done properly, and karaoke can be too. It's all how you present it. If you're a boring stick in the mud, then it's going to be dull. Yep. But I'm just too scared to do karaoke and just have it open. If it was like a designated person to do it, then that's one thing. But I'll be scared to do it because giving a mic to a drunk person and not knowing what they're going to say and do, well, you're asking for trouble.
Hey, I got disconnected. You guys could hear me?
Yeah,
you back.
I see you got up. Now you're back on. Yeah, I hear you perfect.
Yeah, I got shitter net tonight.
And Troll said, don't.
I have a question for
Don't take
everybody
your
there.
clients out of these things. Instead, figure out how you can deliver it. Okay. Oh, don't take those kind of upgrades and stuff out.
A question for everybody that's in the chat. Have you ever been asked to come to the rehearsal?
I had it a couple of times. I know Kevin
one
does
time
it.
I did that.
He goes to the rehearsals a lot.
I mean, I got asked, and I was like, "Well, why do you need me there?" It's because if I'm coming to the rehearsal, I got to charge you for that. Oh, you do? Yeah, you're going to take 2-3 hours of my time up. I want to be paid for that. I'm not going there for free. Oh, I thought you would just come. No.
You know when the best time to go to a rehearsal is? When you do quinceañeras or when you do Latin Sweet 16s, because they're doing a whole intro, a whole dance, a whole premeditated, like choreographed dance. That would be the only time I would say you definitely should go to the,
Yeah.
show up, because you're gonna definitely need to see what the hell they're doing, because it's complicated.
It is the changing the shoes, the roses, the this. It's like, oh my God.
I need to know how many songs, how many dances they're doing, who's coming in, who's the changing of the shoes, the dancing with the father, the whole thing.
Dancing with the father, the mother, the grandmother, the uncle, the grandfather.
That's why I don't do Sweet 16s or 15s anymore. I'm like, nah, I don't do that.
It's
because
crazy.
they want to pay you only like $600-$800 for for that you do a wedding and you make more.
Yep. So I was going to say, Buddy has said flowcharts help with customer service. You have to practice it. Yep. So it sounds natural. Troll says,
do you have a rehearsal package? DJ Troll.
Because it's like with him, I have to censor his comments and stuff. Let me see.
Kevin says he tries to go to, I guess, the rehearsals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does a lot. And then Diego's in the chat. And then Troll says 6 hours. I guess that's how long his weddings are down there.
Right.
And it could be as little as 4. Then Buddy said 6 or 7. That's around the same for mine.
Yeah, it's about 7 hours, yeah.
And then the shortest one was, I think, 3 hours. It was a Sunday afternoon kind of one.
I had a couple comment for a 3-hour wedding. I was like, oh, how much? 3 hours? Really? And Buddy, $300 for a rehearsal. Yeah, I mean, you have to charge for your time. I mean, you're going out of your way to go. And basically, when you were there, they're showing where you're going to set up. I mean, if they allow you to bring your equipment that night to set up,
Mm.
that'd be great, but
Uh,
most venues won't allow you to bring your equipment that night.
unless the intro is a tremendous show where there's a lot going on, there's no need to go to a practice. There's no need to go to a. There's no need.
No,
Yeah,
I believe not.
I just went to one at my church because they didn't know better, so they had me come. I got paid for it, and then I went to the one that I did in Columbus, and I was because I was heading down a day before the wedding anyway, so I already be there. So I just went, told them I'd be at the wedding. I mean, not the wedding, but the rehearsal.
Like I said, I mean, we're the professionals. These people it's their first time getting married, maybe a second time. And they're looking for our advice. They're looking for our direction. I mean, I see so many DJs just shut them right off. Once they sign the contract, that's it. No, if you want your own if you want a photographer, you want this, you want that, they won't guide them or help them in any way. I have to, but I do try to guide them and help them out and give them some lead ways. Not saying, hey, pick this photographer or pick this photographer, or I mean, florist, or this is what you should do for centerpieces. I just try to steer them in the right direction. Because there are photographers, there's so many different places that will take a bride and groom over. As soon as you say it's a wedding, that photographer could go from here to here. That videographer could go from here to here. Yeah, it's just, and same thing with a DJ. They can go from here to here. It's just the philosophy of our system that we are working in.
And then Diego said, okay, I've been asked to run games, but never have. I charged for that. I thought it was part of the job. So am I right? So if he's talking about games like the shoe game and all that stuff, that's part of my
that's part
thing.
of mine too.
But a lot of them, I noticed when I was first starting doing weddings back in 2014, or I say pre-pandemic, the shoe games and all that stuff seems to be more popular. But after the pandemic, a lot of my couples don't even want shoe games.
Yeah.
Some of them barely do the garter, and no, they still do the bouquet toss.
They still do the bouquet, no garter.
Yeah. And then I'm starting to notice that a lot of the anniversary type dances, they don't want to do that stuff. Because I guess I'm dealing with more of the younger, like the 20s, the mid to 30s age group. They just want to come. They do all the formalities, like the father-daughter dance, first dance. But then after that, they want to party and get turned. Yeah. That's all they want. They don't want that extra.
Especially if it's like the second time around, they're getting married for the second time. Mm. It seems like those weddings are the simplest weddings.
Mm. Oh God, yeah. And they don't care what they don't care what you charge them either.
Well, because they're making more money as we get older. We're supposed to be like more comfortable. Yeah. So when you first, I've noticed like when they're younger, they want this, they want dancing on the cloud, they want this, they want to come into the acrobat, and they want the dancing robot, and they want this and they want that. The second time around, they're like, we just want to come in, we want to kiss, do first dance, and then we just want to party the rest of the night.
Yep. Okay. Exactly.
Then James King said, my wedding this Saturday was 4 to 11, 7 hours. I got there at 1 p.m. So was a 10-hour day, not including drive to and from. Dance set was 4 hours. I wonder if that was a wedding. I wonder what wedding was that where the guy was dancing and he had his foot up on the wall and he was like twerking his arm behind. That was that wedding?
I think it might have been. I think that might have been that wedding that he showed some footage of it.
Mm-hmm. And then Tro asked, why are we hiding prices?
I've never posted my price on any social media, any Facebook website, anything. I've always...
Yeah, that's the first complaint from brides. Oh, you have no prices on your website. Well, There's a reason for that. I guess everybody, you're charging everybody kind of differently unless you have a package already and you're going, this is how much it is. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there's stairs, we got to talk. I got to hire somebody to come and help me.
Yeah, that's why I just have a base. I have a base, and I say this is the base price. It can't go
Standard
up.
setup.
Starting price.
So
base
if I have
price.
to like add a tent, or if I have to bring my generator, or if I have to have an extra setup or something like that, then it increases. Or you're talking about driving extra miles. I put that in as an add-on.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, you have to.
yeah. Or if I had
I
to
mean,
like when I went to Columbus, I had to stay over. That was added. So
Yeah. Oh, definitely,
Now-
definitely. I mean, that's a must.
Now, James, I know James is up
Houston.
in the chat.
Yeah.
I know he works with a DJ where he's at. Does he do consultations with the bride and groom, or does Danny do the consultations and he just passes it on to him? That's what I want to know.
okay, we'll see.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I gotta you know what I gotta do.
You gotta change the oil.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta change the oil.
And then Buddy said you should have your pricing ready. And then Diego said packages makes it so much easier. Here are my prices with what I offer. Which one do you want? Yep. That's why I have packages, said Buddy. Then James said, bro, they added 30 minutes. That ended 30 minutes early. They were so tired they couldn't go anymore. The groom said he was going to be sore on the plane to the honeymoon. And then Diego said, do a run through right now on how you would handle it.
Handle what?
That's what I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember what he's talking about. How would I handle? Yeah, maybe if Diego's still there, he can tell me what he want me to run through. Big DJ Service says packages make it so much easier. Yep. Yet another reason to have prices online.
It's like going to McDonald's and going, yeah, let me get number one.
Mhm.
No pickles, please.
And then Diego said exactly 4 hours. Yeah, too long for 4 hours. And he was talking to James King. Oh, snap. I just changed. Kevin says I attend rehearsals if they are having me do karaoke for rehearsal for the rehearsal meal. So he asked that as an add-on, his karaoke.
Dude, rehearsal is just another excuse to have another party. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. But that's another excuse to earn extra money too.
Yeah. You could charge them accordingly, but
Yep.
that's just an excuse to get together the day before or a couple of days before and throw a little mini wedding, a little mini party.
And Diego said anniversary dance are whack. I hate slow dances.
I hate anniversary dance. The one that you have to eliminate people.
Mhm. And I do the reverse one. I try to get people to come up, and then that's how I get everybody on the dance floor, get a full dance floor, and then that's when I have the photographer take the big huge wedding party dance where everybody's around and around the bride and groom, and they get the big huge picture, and then you have to try to get a good hype group dance that everybody can dance to. One of those safe in between songs. Try to keep them on the dance floor. And then Diego said second marriages are definitely easier. And then DJ Tro said bouquet and garter are dead here. We have a lot of bouquet dedications to the moms, but the toss is dead. Reverse anniversary dance is the way to go. Yeah, that's what I just said. That was from DJ Tro too.
We'll have to talk about that later, Dwayne, about that reversal thing.
And then Diego said, how far will you go? You got to charge for driving.
I've driven 2.5 hours for a gig for $1,000.
Yeah. I forget what my breakdown was, and then I started charging per that mileage past that.
Depends on the time of year. You know what I mean? We're talking January, February. You got nothing going on? I mean, go for it.
60 miles for us is I guess the limit for DJ Stroll. And oh, he was talking about handling the price. But I did that I don't know how many times. But it's like, you know, when people are set in their ways, they're gonna do what they want and how they want anyway. But I'm telling you, having or at least having, like what Buddy had said, at least having a checklist or something that you know you want to ask the client to kind of like go and push them to a package and push them to sending them a contract and getting a signed contract. You got to at least have that together or have it really set in your mind, because freestyling it, you'll talk your way out of a whole bunch of phone consultation.
Sometimes you be
bookings.
repeating yourself.
Yeah.
I'm back.
All right, then Buddy says he loved anniversary dances. And King said, I do the consultation with the bride and groom to make sure we are a good fit. Yep, that's another way to read out certain clients.
Yes.
And then Diego said, on the wedding, the bride wanted the anniversary dance, but everyone in attendance were single and no significant others. So everyone started laughing, and we were like, okay, then let's party. It came close to when I did a wedding last year. I started calling like someone, you know, the low numbers, and no one was moving. I was like, so everybody's single here except for the bride and groom. But it took a minute. Once we got to like 10 years, 15 years, that's when everybody started coming. So that's when you have a lot of older people there. My retainer is more than $1,000 usually, but yeah, he has a whole bunch of stuff. If he, because he charged. He said he had 3 events that was $10,000, and he includes the game. I guess he does some kind of interactive game. But he says 2.5 hours for $1,000. Wow. That is cheap. He says you want to qualify the customers. Yep. $1,000 for just driving 2.5 hours, Diego. He says, are you a lawyer now, DJ Troll? Nope, but he just practices one. And then Diego says, I mean, what are the odds of that happening? No one was a couple. And then also he has mentioned somewhere about he had no couple ask him for a mix. But at the same time, Diego's been putting up like YouTube shorts. So it's like
Reels.
maybe they didn't ask him for a mix because they actually saw him, you know, on Instagram or YouTube. So, but still he has proof up there.
Something. He's got footage.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's nice. Okay, us, recording our mixes and stuff. But when you're at a venue and the owner or the manager sees you and sees how you are with the guest, that goes over more than a reel, more than a video. Because the couples are always asking, who's a good, the couple asks, do you have a DJ in mind for us? And boom. For some reason, my name gets mentioned. I don't know why, but it does.
You say you have a small town and only but a handful of DJs. So
no, we have a lot of DJs here. But again, they go from $9.95. You know what I'm talking about. Up to $39.95. That's their starting prices. But that these venue managers, the venue owners, they know me. They know the person I am. They know how I mix. They know I'm not no bull crap guy. I'm straight to the point. I will do what the couple wants. And if I feel something's going to hinder their reception, I will tell them straight up front. Do you really want to do this? It's just, if you want to, I will. But don't blame me if your wedding doesn't turn out the way it should be. That's the whole thing. You're the experienced one. You're the DJ. Like you said well before, they're always asking the DJ, what time are we doing this? What time are we doing that? What time? You're going by your experience. The venue manager probably does more weddings than we do in a year, but they're still asking us because every timeline is different. Every bride and groom are different. I mean, you may meet the bride and groom and they're excellent with you, but the venue manager might meet the bride and groom and they're a total douchebag to the venue manager.
I think they rely on us for intros and to get that done. The only thing that they worry about is bringing out the food in a timely manner and what time are they doing cake.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
And the best thing is, what I've learned, you do your intros, do all your specialty dances. People sit down to eat. I noticed 85% of the crowd's done eating. I get the bride and groom over, buy the cake, photographers over there, do a mock cake cutting, put the cake cutting song on. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Jessica and Jeff are going to cut their cake. Who's going to get cake in the face first? Grab your cell phones, get up here, take some pictures. And they come up from the tables. The staff goes and cleans the tables off. Boom.
I have a question for the chat. Cake cutting, where you guys are at, do you do it right after dinner and get it over with, or do you do it somewhere down the line later on?
I
You
try
have to,
to do
stop
that
the
at
party
dinner
to do the cake.
because it's like a dessert. So I do that.
So
at
you do
dinner.
it later, Dwayne?
Well,
yeah, I do that after dinner, and then somewhere in between, there's toast. So there's something going on.
So wait a minute. So you don't do the toast in the beginning after like all the first dances and parent dances?
Yeah, I do.
I don't go right in
That's
the
the
middle.
way we do
of
it
the
here, East Coast.
Because they go right into the dinner. Because if dinner doesn't happen right after the introductions, it's right after the couple wants to come in, after the grand entrance. They just want to come to the dance floor, do their first dance, and then be over. And then one of them will either do the welcoming of the guests, and then the preacher will come and bless the food, and then they'll do dinner.
Jersey, PA, we do intros with the bridal party. The bride and groom come in, they do the first dance, and right from there, usually the bride will dance with her dad, then the groom will dance with his mom, then they'll sit down in the sweetheart table. I'll set up the mic on a stand next to the sweetheart table, and that it's a little tip for everybody. It helps with the whole movement of the microphone. Use a stand. And you can use that same stand to do intros if you're by yourself. But anyway,
like the pistol grip.
Right, the pistol grip, right, from Gator. You do the speeches right after, the first dances and all that stuff. You do the speeches, and then from the speeches, usually there's a blessing, and then from the blessing, you go right into dinner, and you're doing about an hour of background music or just fun background music. And then after dinner, you try and get them to cut the cake. They're not going to serve it, but they're just going to cut it. And then later on, they serve it for dessert.
The reason I like to do the cake cutting right after dinner, well, most of the guests are done eating. There's maybe 15% that are still eating.
The bride and groom got done first before everybody else.
But the thing is, you have the bride and groom there. You're not, okay, you have the bride there. Well, the groom's over there talking to his buddies. You go over there, get the groom, you come back. The bride went outside to have a cigarette, or she ran to the bathroom, or she's up at the bar getting a drink. So you go up and get the bride, you come back to the cake. Now the groom is gone. This way, when you have both of them at one spot, hang on, I'm getting a photographer's coming over. Take a couple pictures, make the announcement, cake cutting, boom, you're done. And then the rest of the night's a party.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
a good tip is to try and get the photographers fed right after the bride and groom go up. Or if it's a buffet or if it's a sit down, try and get the photographers fed. That way, when they're ready to do the cake, they're not in the back eating still. That they're ready to take the picture.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. It's just, Yeah, us as the DJs, we have so much responsibility. It's unbelievable. Um, I had so many bride couples tell me, man, I don't know how you did it. You know, we really didn't realize how much responsibility you have for a wedding, which is the truth. We really have a lot of responsibility on our shoulders to make sure everything flows right throughout the whole course of the night, from the start to the end. But it's nice. Everybody's gone, and guess what? We're the last ones there packing all our crap up.
First to
And,
arrive, last to leave.
yep, I'll tell you, the side that I love to have going on when I'm at the end of the night, you know, everybody's gone, and I just start breaking the lights down first, and I'll put Jackson Brown, Stay. Excellent tune. You know, you're first to come, the last to go, which is the truth.
And so Diego was saying, be nice to him because he's being vulnerable on social media with his mixing skills. And then Buddy
Who's that?
said, no, the mixing is cool. Cake is in the introductions. That's what Buddy said. And Diego said later. He'll do it later. And then DJ Troll says Cake could be doing intros or after dinner. And then Big DJ Services says after dinner. Then Buddy went on and said doing the introductions. And then Diego says, well, if it's a Hispanic wedding, it's close to the end. If it's an American wedding, during dinner.
He's right about that.
Yep.
Latin weddings usually they'll have it's called postre. Postre is later on in the evening because they'll have coffee also.
Did any of you ever do an Indian wedding?
Nope, and I've seen them, and they're like 2 days, like nonstop. It's crazy.
Yep.
The one I did was 9 hours long, about 6.5 to 7 hours. The couple stayed on their knees for the whole ceremony. They got up, they ate for an hour, and they danced for 45 minutes, and it was over. That was it. I'm like,
That's all right.
Yep.
I mean, all I did is play this background Indian music for the ceremony for 6.5 hours. That was it, you know?
Okay. And then Big DJ Service says his order goes grand march, dinner, speeches, and then the cake.
It's different.
Yep. Kevin said,
What part of the country is that? What was it? Big DJ Services?
yeah. I'm trying to remember, where did I see him from? Did I see him from Start to Spin or King's Court? Or it might be the same because we all watch the same group and we're all in the same chat.
Is that Midwest or West or East Coast?
All right. Let me see if I can get down to it.
No, and Jersey's even different than PA. Jersey, they do intros, and then they'll do a small dance set, sit them down, do first course, do another small dance set, sit them down, do another course. So they'll dance everything each course.
Yeah, it's an Italian wedding.
And
In
then
PA, it's not like that. In PA, they do all the intros. They sit them down for dinner for like 2 hours. And then it's like nonstop dancing the last 2 hours of the wedding or 2.5 hours.
I did a wedding down in southwestern PA, and it was, you know, your intros, the first dance, that was it. Sit down, eat. Then the bride got up, danced with the dad. Groom got up, danced with his mom. Sat back down. Everybody else was eating. The bride and groom, the bridal party went out, took pictures at that point in time. They came back, then they did the cake cutting. Then after the cake cutting, everybody's going up to the bar to get their drinks. Guess what? You got to pay for your booze now. You got to pay for your Coke now. You're like, what? Because, I mean, there was some guests that were from up here in Northeast PA. Usually all beverages are included.
Yeah, you better have liquor up here, or else your wedding's gonna suck.
All right, let's go ahead because I'm trying to wrap this up.
Yeah, let's roll it off.
All right, so Kevin said they decided all order and will will input if asked about activity order, or okay, they'll decide the order. His couple. You see.
Yeah, if they know what they want, just don't mess with it.
Okay, and it says, Diego says, the huge problem is they always try to feed the vendor after the guest, and it should be the other way around.
Or they take the vendors out of the room. There's been many times.
If it's a buffet, get them up there as quickly as possible. Sit down dinner, you can't do too much with that, but you can try and talk to the maitre d'.
I've done some really high class weddings, and the vendors are not allowed to sit in the room where the guests are at. We must go to the separate room.
So depressing.
And then Kevin said DJ fed early would be good too. Then Buddy said, couple, come on. They go by their tables, then cut the cake, blessing, and then speeches, then dinner, daddy, daughter, mother, son, first dance, and then the open floor dancing. Then Kevin said, one vendor actually asked me to get early, actually asked me to get, maybe he's talking about food. One vendor actually asked me to go early because they realized it would be best. Diego said,
I hate it when the photographer.
Usually a 3-day wedding, and it's wild.
I hate it when the photographer's like trying to hurry up or push you to do things because he's got to leave or she's got to leave. I hate that.
And then Buddy says, here the cake is on the dance floor. That's why we cut it to get it off the dance floor. And then Big DJ Service says he's from Wisconsin. Round Table. Oh yeah, that's where I seen him. All right. And wait a minute, Wisconsin, isn't that where Brittany's from? Is it I want to say, yeah.
Brentley.
Yeah, DJ
Brentley's from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then LaRuckus says, Diego, I'm going to call him Diego the whole time. Hispanics got to eat first, then dance. We're fat. And then Buddy says, Wisconsin, all the weddings I have done there is the same as here. And then Big DJ Service says, the old norm was grand march after dinner. And then Buddy says after party. And I was like, no, because you got me last week.
Yeah.
I was like a zombie staying up late. I think I
quarter to
got
one
like
already.
3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah.
And I don't know if Troll's still in the room here, but I've done some very unique weddings. The African wedding, where the groom was right from Africa, an all Italian wedding, like what I was talking about. Eat some dance music, eat some dance music, eat some dance. Some are 7-course meals. So you're playing, it's a couple songs that they dance, and then you're back into dinner music. Then it's a couple songs they dance and back into dinner music again. It's like, holy crap, how these people are going to dance after they get done eating a 7-course meal. I mean, and then the African wedding, that was unbelievable. The whole Hispanic wedding, that was unbelievable. The Indian, I did 3 Indian weddings, unreal. And Indians are that country is so huge. Each part of India is a different tradition.
Yep. So yeah, maybe I'll send the link out. Stay for a few minutes.
Well, I got to fly because I got to get my mother. She did a couple things. I'll wait till we get off here.
Okay, because I'm wrapping it up. So our poll question, I'm going to end it. When it comes to getting DJ bookings, what matters most? So the most votes came in with reputation and word of mouth. That was 56%. System and marketing strategy came in second with 33%, and 11% says social media presence. So that's how you get your bookings. And then
No, buddy, we're gonna stay here for a little bit. Well, I'm gonna stay for a little bit. I don't know how long Dwayne's gonna be here, but Will, are you staying?
I'm hungry, man. I'm gonna go eat something.
yep, I'll send a link to your Facebooks and Instagrams. All right, so let's go to our shout outs. Our shout outs go to our top chat leaders from last week, which was Kevin. He had the number one spot, and he has the number one spot again today.
Yeah.
And then Cool Thing, which he had a gig today, so that's why he's not here. He came in second, Buddy
He's
came
probably
in
tired.
third. Mikey Mike came in fourth. James King came in fifth. Ruckus Diego, he came in sixth. DJ BB 52163 came in seventh, and the Shuffle Couple snuck in and came in eighth. So
Yeah.
we gotta figure out how we're gonna do this for next week. And how we're gonna do the grand
take the
prize
last-
winner for our anniversary show.
Last 2 months and do an average.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then again, I'd like to thank DJ Will, and you can follow him at DJ Will Silva. Thanks again for coming and joining us.
My pleasure.
Really, thank you, sir.
I think he's getting ready to take the number one spot from Cool Thing as being on the panel the most.
Yeah, definitely.
And then if you haven't done so already, make sure you join our Facebook group page. And there's the long URL code. Or you can just go to Facebook and type in Cue It Up DJ Podcast and join our group or private page. You can find us by just going to the Facebook search browser and then type in the Cue It Up DJ Podcast. And then you can follow DJ Mikey Mike on all of his socials at DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter and Facebook, and at DJ Mikey Mike 45 on Instagram. And then you can find me at hitmanddub on all of my socials. And then we have this thing called the DJ Collective Network, where it is one culture and many voices. So welcome to our primetime DJ lineup, a weekly schedule of live stream shows built for DJs by DJs. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, we've got the knowledge, the stories, and inspirations to help you level up. To kick us all off, every week at Monday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. For every DJ chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spend with DJ Cool Thing. And then on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock p.m. live on Twitch, join Buddy and his weekly guest panel of DJs for unfiltered conversations that matter. It's the DJ Roundtable with Buddy from TPM Productions. And if you miss the live broadcast on Twitch, you can see the rebroadcast every Monday at 1 o'clock at TPM Productions DJ 1, his YouTube channel. And then on Wednesdays, make YouTube great again by joining DJ James King on King's Court DJ Podcast at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel at james.kinghtx for Houston, Texas. He usually go from 8 to 9 by himself, and they talk gear and equipment. And then at 9 o'clock, he usually have a special guest. And then on Thursdays, you have the Cue It Up DJ Podcast with me, the hitmanddub, and DJ Mikey Mike. And it seems like either we have DJ Cool Thing or DJ Will on the show. And you can catch our show at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel at the hitmanddub every Thursdays. And then also on Thursdays at 9 o'clock, it's the Start to Spin DJ Podcast with DJ Shay and DJ Pretty Boy. And you can find their podcast on Diego's YouTube channel at La Rockas Inc. And that's every Thursday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And then on the KJ Chill Room karaoke chat, you can find Kevin, DJK Productions, live with Matt and Eric every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern at djntv.com/KJ Chill. You can join them live on their show or catch the rebroadcast on the Disc Jockey News TV YouTube channel. And then also follow our other DJ friend, and it's at _DJ Reese _ for We Create the Vibes podcast on YouTube, where he talks DJing in the corporate arena. And then you have DJ Sean, or DJ Night Owl, I should say. When he's not doing the DJ Biz School, again, if you want to learn about SEOs and marketing and branding, that's the guy you want to go see. And you can his channel is the DJ Biz School. And when he's not doing YouTube videos or DJing, he has this thing called the beta booth, photo booth. So if you're looking to add some serious wow factors to your events, check out the beta booth from Photo Booth Direct Club. It's got upgraded lighting and wiring, a mirrored faceplate that guests love, and it even comes in a rolling luggage style case. So setup is a breeze. Best part, with our CUEITUP code, you save $350. That means you get it for just $1,645. And if he's still in the chat, I'm thinking that's a typo, because 350 from let me see, 350 that should be 1,000. Oh, it's the image. The image is wrong. It should be $1,645 instead of $1,695. So anyways, just head on to photoboothdirectclub.com and grab yours now. So eventually I'll be able to work myself up to that. And then he also has the Sigma Video Guest Book for $795, and you can get it in red, black, or white. So make sure to remember, like and share and subscribe. So I keep forgetting to tell people to make sure you hit the like button. So you all can kindly hit the like button. We'll appreciate that. So do we have any other final notes or comments?
Thank everybody for being in the show on the show tonight. Thank you for all the people responding to our questions and posting questions to us. I mean, it's great. We're here. We're at your mercy too, and you're at our mercy. So it's great that we're sharing all this content back and forth with each other. And Dwayne's going to post this, and then I'll share it on the million different places, and a million different people probably see it then.
Yep. Let me see.
And I want to thank Will for being on the show again too.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Getting ready for wedding season. It's already started this month. So
yeah,
here we go.
Yep. And Buddy said no hunter tonight. Nice show, guys. Then Kevin said I should be sad since I'm not KJing. And then Diego went on to say, I'm here late, but here. Thanks for being here. And then better than never. And then Kevin says, now you guys have 2 marathon shows a week. Yep. And then Buddy says, I want to be the first. And then he started crying. And then Diego says, cool thing, lost his #1 spot. And then where is he? Buddy, he was DJing at Sam's Corner. They had their anniversary.
I think 50th anniversary said.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me go down. Yeah, and Diego says, it's almost impossible to be first here since Cool Thing is on all the time. And he starts early, so he's pretty much set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Cool Thing's got to start doing sessions on YouTube. I want to see him mix.
Mm. No, I
All
don't
we
know
have to do is
because see, DJ Troll will be looking for that and make him delete his YouTube channel again, giving him the business.
I got to do is get Cool Thing excited a little bit. That's it. He can't type that quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a setup already, like ready to stream. I want to see him do a couple of mixes and stuff. I want to see him DJ live.
I seen him mix it. I mean, he's good.
And then see,
Very
I'm
good.
trying to go down. Let's see.
Oh,
Yep, and then Diego's giving me the business, giving me the business about the code, the CUEITUP code, and the pricing at the end. So I just need to read the script. If I read the script, and I'm on point instead of looking at the screen, because the numbers are off, or just correct the screen, and then. Oh yeah, DJ Show says he's cool thing. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yup. Make sure you hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
And then Diego says, we are hostage with your. I got one next week. And then, oh yeah, because Kevin said, yeah, Dwayne has a gig. Finally, I got him out of the slump. I was so happy.
I got a Dominican wedding at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's gonna be good.
so I'm chasing down 2 more. So hopefully I get that, and we're one big happy family. Okay? So let's get ready to head on out. And our fade out message is, if you don't understand why something works, you won't know when it stops working. So you gotta make sure you have a system in place and make sure you can measure whether or not what you're doing is working for you. If not, you're just gonna be spinning your wheels and keep doing the same thing over and over and stifling yourself as opposed to growing.
They stuck in the mud. You're spinning your wheels and you're not going nowhere.
Yep. So with that said, I'd like to thank everyone that stuck it out with us. Then look for the after party link in your Instagram DMs, and I'll be sending it out in a few minutes.
What,
So
you
with-
guys have people coming in?
Huh?
Like,
Yeah.
you have people coming into the chat, into the video?
It's the same people. We pretty much hang out. It's the same people that be on the the chill room and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Remember, practice and enjoy also.
Mm.
Like Brian Esred says.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Yes.
Yep. So I hope you all have a great weekend. See y'all next week. And remember,
Happy Easter.
Yep. Before it's time to spin, you gotta first cue it up. All right. Take care and stay blessed, y'all.
Before the lights, 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 before the packed dance floors, before the name CUEITUP would mean anything. Been hustling over 30 years, working every single day. Music wasn't just a job, it was built in my DNA. The journey wasn't overnight.